Hello, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to live Friday night Intuitive Oracle with myself and Ghostdragonzw. Mama Cindy Lee, what is up? Thank you for coming in. Blue Crossroads pizza sounds delicioso right now. I think I said that wrong. Mark Hall said, "Hey, I hope you're feeling good." Heather B, welcome and thank you. I'm I'm having a day, but I'll explain all about that later on. I just wanted to thank you. By the way, I have been seeing like your cash apps and stuff come in. I just haven't really I don't usually like shout people out, but I just wanted you to know I am receiving them and I appreciate you so much. Bat Mom, you didn't know it was Friday? Girl, what are you doing? So just first and foremost, guys, this I thought was one of the shirts, like the green one I wore last week. It's actually a bodysuit and I can't like snap it. So it might come up and down, come up and if I'm tugging at my shirt a lot, that's why. But yeah, it's been one of those days, weeks, months, but I don't want to slip into or say for anyone to slip into like a false positivity. But at the end of the day, right, I feel like for me, I have to, hey, Richard, just keep knowing deep down inside of myself that everything negative that is happening or that I'm perceiving as negative is happening for a reason. I sit here sometimes and I yell and I'm like, I've learned everything. Like in this situation, there is nothing more I can get from it. And I hear the universe like say something in my head back, like, you don't know what you don't know. Right. So there's obviously still a reason that a lot of us are in these horrible, negative situations. But I think, Heather, you are definitely on the right track if what you're posting on Facebook has anything to say about it, because you're doing for you and focusing more on you and understanding that it's not selfish, right? And I think that is the first step in everything coming together for us, you know, in our lives, even all at different times. And then you go from the dark night of the soul into the spiritual awakening and it's glorious, but then you're back into a dark night of the soul before you realize it. Because while, yes, we're here to pursue happiness, at the end of the day, we're here actually, the real reason is for our soul to learn from the experiences. And we don't learn anything if things are Blue Crossroads. We don't learn anything if things are always good and always easy. But man, I could use a little more ease. I'll tell you that much. I'm sure we all can. I know a lot of people are struggling right now. And my heart goes out to anyone that's been affected by any of the hurricanes. You know, I don't watch the news, but I know a lot of damage has been done. I see a lot of people talking about what the government is and isn't doing. And that's not something I'm going to talk about here on my channel. But prayers definitely with anyone who's lost anything because of the storms, you know. Yes, Heather, we do got this for sure, especially us Jersey girls. Like, we ain't giving up that easily. The universe, really? Hold my beer and watch this. Exactly. That is exactly how I feel sometimes. I'm like, what more could I possibly learn? And there it is. What's up, Sir Mark? Let me bring in Ghostdragonzw.
Hello.
Thank you to everybody who sent birthday wishes to Damien, whether it be through Facebook or the community or just texting me. I do appreciate it. He turned 20 on, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? The 9th. I know it was the 9th, but I don't remember what day that was. Wednesday. Yeah. It's crazy watching your third born turn 20, right? It's like, oh my God.
30. Wait until he turns 30.
He is such an amazing young man.
Actually, my oldest is 36.
He's got a job now. I'm super proud of him, and he's going to get his license on the 21st, which is amazing. And then a week later, on the 28th, my oldest turns 25. So I'm living the life. Life with Bobby. What is up? I got some stuff I want to talk with y'all about, some like serious heart-to-heart type stuff, but I'm going to mix it in with the readings so that I'm not like right from the beginning getting super duper deep. And also, so like, I'm not going to save it all for the end, so y'all could just sign off and not have to hear me talk. So I'll work with y'all. Okay. I'll do it little by little throughout the stream. Nothing, you know, negative against you guys, just some things that I'm dealing with that you guys can help with. And yeah, Roger Blair. Hello. All right. Your baby's 40. Oh gosh. I'll be 42 in March. Yeah.
Thank you, Roger.
Paradox Fossils, what is up? Yeah, I'll be 42 in March, even though I think there was 2 videos where the shorts where I was like putting my age on the screen, and I put 42 both times. And I don't know why I kept putting 42, because I am 41. I was born in 1983. So I'm wondering if when I'm 42 is going to be like a big year for me, because I keep moving myself up to that time. I don't know. It's strange. Anyways, let's just get started. What's up, Jason?
What's up? Go ahead and do Cindy Lee. She was first.
All right, Mama Cindy.
Then Blue, you're next.
Oh, thank you, Roger. So yeah, today I didn't get a lot of sleep. I was very tired. So I'm like, I'll lay down and I'll put the new Salem's Lot movie on in the background for noise, and I'll just watch it later. And of course that didn't happen. I watched the whole movie, didn't get to nap, and my son had a half day, so I got him off the bus, and I'm like, okay, I'll nap for an hour before his dad gets here to get him. And I'm like, I'll just put the Penguin on for background noise, because I've never watched that show, so I'm not going to be like super into it yet, even though I do want to watch it. And yes, Jason, you may. And I ended up not napping then, because I was watching the Penguin. And then after my son left, I decided I am laying down for an hour, and that is it. I need sleep. Yeah, I just watched all the episodes that are out of the Penguin and didn't get any sleep, but it is what it is. I'll sleep later.
Chris, if you're listening, yes, she's watching the Penguin now. Do you believe that? It's such a good show. We love that show.
I watched the old school. I don't remember who had it. Maybe Netflix. They had the Penguin series with a younger Penguin.
You mean the
Gotham.
Batman?
It was called Gotham, not Penguin. Yeah, you're right. I just remember the Penguin character was like most prominent in the last episodes that I watched. But it's crazy, because every time the Penguin, what's up, Aunt Edna? In this particular one, he's not like grotesque looking, but he's got scars and stuff. He's not the most attractive. But every time he go like this, I remember thinking, oh my God, the Penguin's hot. And then I'm like, why do I keep thinking that?
That's Colin Farrell.
And then I looked up the cast. Thank you for telling my point. And I saw that it was Colin Farrell, who is in makeup. And I'm like, that's why the eyes. It's the eyes.
Oh, he's so good in that. I love it. It's like
I would never
it's
have
like
guessed.
The Sopranos go to Gotham.
I was just, oh my God, I can't believe you said that, because I was going to text Damien, you should watch The Penguin on Max, because it reminds me of The Sopranos, but it takes place in Gotham, but Batman. All right. Mama Cindy, you got the Yeroni, card number 13, in the reversed position. Hello, Mother. Oh. Oh my gosh, these are pretty long. Okay. You need to differentiate in the situation at hand. This situation calls for autonomy. You must define your own unique feelings, thoughts, preferences, aversions, needs, desires, and personal truths. In the current situation, Cindy, you may be losing touch with yourself. You are most likely becoming enmeshed in a situation in some way. This does not mean that you should push anyone or anything away. It simply means that you need to redefine you in this situation and act accordingly. So before I lose this thought, this isn't saying redefining your entire self. Just redefining what role you play in this situation or relationship or whatever it is, why you're playing the role that you're playing, and does it really fit in your best interest to do so, to be in it, in your best interest. The Yeroni is not here to teach differentiation, and so he tends to turn his back when people struggle with being constantly trapped between their own and the other's thoughts, feelings, needs, and wishes. Become clear on the things you like. How do you really feel? What do you really want? And what do you really think? Between the personal truth of the other, meaning the other person or other people involved in whatever this is, chances are high that between the personal truth of the other and their own personal truth, chances are high that this is a struggle that you are currently in. At this time, you might be being asked to develop a healthy sense of self, like boundaries, and then learn how to have that self within the context of relationships without resorting to either codependent or narcissistic strategies. You are looking to establish your own feelings, thoughts, needs, wants, and personal truths while recognizing that other people also have thoughts, feelings, needs, wants, and personal truths. And your decisions affect them just like theirs affect you. The Yaroni in reverse asks you to establish a strong sense of self in this situation you're in order to stand in a space of authenticity and autonomy. This is the only way to make the right choice for yourself and to do the right thing. Living an authentic and autonomous life is dependent upon living in alignment with your personal thoughts, feelings, preferences, wants, needs, and truths. The good news is the outcome that you've been looking for in this situation is right on the other side of doing so. Miss Julie girl, what is up? So, yes, Roger, thank you. Be sure to hit the like button, everybody. So, Miss Cindy, this is about understanding that in whatever situation you're in, or if this involves a relationship, or even if it involves you and several other people, regardless of what it is or what it's about, where and how do you fit in it? What are you looking to gain from it? Right? And the bigger lesson here would be you doing this for reasons of self. Like, you're not looking to get out of it that you were able to help someone. That's a lot of the reason a lot of us light workers and empaths get involved in situations that we're maybe unsure of our footing in these situations, because we're just looking to help a friend or a family member or someone that we can see needs help, right? This person clearly needs help. I'm in a position to help them. Let me help them. Before stepping out on that limb, or even if you already have, stepped out on that limb, it's time to think about what you're going to gain, and is it really worth it to you to be involved in and be in the midst of or in the thick of whatever this is? Because I feel like people are looking at you in this situation as one of two ways. Either they're looking at you like, why are you even involved, right? This would probably be the opposite to the person you're helping, or someone that's maybe not the biggest fan of yours, but also I feel like others can be looking at you like just trying to understand what it is you hope to gain. And in this situation particularly, I feel like what you're hoping to gain should not be the person you're helping gaining something. It should be definitely about you. And if it's not, please reevaluate what you're doing, why you're in it, and see if you can back out. Right? This isn't like offering to help somebody and then being like, oops, sorry, can't. What's up, Nutslap? But it's being like, you know what? I don't feel I really have anything to offer this situation, because let me break it down. If all you're giving to a situation is energy, time, effort, money, emotion, whatever it is, and you're not ever getting any back, even if someone else is, like, on your behalf, or you're acting and doing all these things on their behalf, you are still going to, at the end of the day, be an empty cup. And I do feel like in the next week or two, there is just something here that you should not get involved with, that you might be very, very tempted to get involved with. But I don't really feel like people are going to be kind of pulling you to get involved in it. I feel like if you do get involved, it'll be an active, conscious decision, which is why the universe is like, it is all solely on you whether or not to get involved here. And you really shouldn't, because you have nothing to gain. Even if, like, for example, your son-in-law is cheating on your daughter, and you're like, well, I've got to say something. Obviously, you could end up saying something to your daughter, or they break up and then they get back together, and then suddenly you're the bad guy. How did that happen? It does happen, though. All right. I know Blue's next. Just seeing if anyone came in. All right, Blue, I'm going to use the Oracle of Light and Dark. I have a gigantic X on my left palm. Yeah. I've never really been into palmistry because I could never find like my palm. Yep, never get into domestic unless there's violence. Exactly. I feel like whatever this is, I feel like you're going to think it through, and it's like it seemed like a good idea at the time, but then there's going to be this regret of like, now I'm just giving and giving and giving, getting nothing back, and I'm just like draining myself. Welcome, Josephine. All right, Blue, you got the dried flower fairy, card number 11, and it is the card of sweet memories. Blue, this darling little fairy just loves to collect memories and to treasure them, wearing them as garlands. Their sweet, faded fragrance reminding her of happier times. She helps you by collecting all your happy, sweet memories and keeping them from fading too. She has wings that resemble the wonderful monarch butterfly, which is renowned for the vast distances it can travel. So these memories may be a very long ago, down through the ages, but they are still able to fly to you and reach you with their messages of love and sweetness wherever you currently find yourself. When you experience a difficult and challenging time, the dried flower fairy flies to your side, shows you a moment that you had forgotten, and magically the present moment transforms. You will always have her with you, most especially in the times when those sweet moments seem furthest away. She will come to you and she will remain with you. Expect calls out of the blue, bumping into old friends, a photograph of a loved one, or a reminder of happiness coming to you in other sweet and serendipitous ways. The dried flower fairy speaks. Do you remember that time when you played with the fairies in the garden? Do you remember when your imaginary friend was more real than your own parents? What about the first time you ever noticed your shadow quivering in the light? Swam in the sparkling sea, held hands, or exchanged glances with someone you liked more than just friends, when you were given a gift for no reason, hugged by a friend, had a perfect day, found messages from angels in the clouds. You seem to have forgotten all of the precious moments, so I've been busy gathering them up for you. I now return them to you so your sadness can be transformed. Let happiness, bliss, and gifts for no reason become possibilities that you believe in again. When I see you smile and treasure a moment from the past in the present, I know my work has been done. You may soon be experiencing little reminders of some of the sweetest, most fun and uplifting times in your life, the kind that have no great quote-unquote significance historically, but in the story that is your life, they are pivotal moments. It could be seeing a rainbow, a star shining bright, or a photograph of your father holding you closely in his arms, or receiving the knowledge and sudden realization that something you did made a large and meaningful difference to someone else's life. You have so many jewels. It's time to sift through the precious moments in memory, and by honoring these and feeling them again, change the present for the better. The magic of your sweetest memories will be worked into the present moment, and your current struggle will be momentarily relieved, and that transcendent feeling of being one with all that is will return, giving you the strength to go on and do what must be done. So I don't feel, just knowing you personally and your energy, I don't feel like you're sad. I don't feel like you're really, what's up, Smoochy girl, reminiscing on the past and like being sad about it. But I do feel like something or someone from your past in the next couple of weeks is going to suddenly appear. It could also be like you're watching a movie and like something you really get brought back to like a time in your life when something significant happened. But I feel like it could be like finding a photo, or there's just something here. Hello, Mark Dune. There's something here like bringing you back in time almost, at least in your mind and in your spirit. And just, this is the universe reassuring you that, you know, you're going to be able to feel those feelings again. This usually happens when the dried flower fairy card pops up, when you feel as though your life is lacking in some way, or something is lacking from your life. This doesn't mean you're unhappy with your life or miserable or anything like that. I mean, it could, but it doesn't have to. It just means that there's some area that you're reminiscing on a time. Mark, yes. when you're reminiscing on a time when, like, whatever you had then, you want again. And I feel like it could be a frustrating feeling for you. I also feel like if, just for example, if this is love, like a past love could be coming in, and that could be kind of throwing a wrench in your works, because you have to decide, is it really this person you're looking to make those memories with? Or is it like you just want someone there, right? And I feel like that's going to be your struggle in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, Aunt Edna is all of our auntie here. Or auntie, however you say it. Sorry, guys, I've got the windows open and I don't know what it's called. Ragweed, pollen, whatever it is doing a number on me today. So, all right, who's next?
Is Mr. Mark.
All right. Mark Halstead?
Yes. Sorry about that. And then we'll sneak him in soon.
Yeah, Mark Dune, just hang tight because it's your first time here. We'll bump you up a little bit on the list. And Ghost, don't forget, my mom's here too. So
yes, I know. I'm going to sneak her in too.
All right, Mark Halstead. Let's use Oracle of the Universe. So welcome, because you are new. We love having new people. In the past couple of weeks, we've had quite a few new people come in. Mark Halstead, you got the constellation Gemini. Wonderful. Mark Dune, Mark D, I'll call you. That is awesome. That is our goal here, is to make everyone feel welcome and safe and just good. We don't accept, like, we don't allow trolling or bullying or any of that stuff. I think most of us have dealt with that enough in our lives, and we're certainly not going to do that as adults on YouTube. Oh, I am just getting started though, so it takes me a little while to warm up sometimes. I feel like tonight's going to be one of those nights. Yeah, guys, everybody, please hit the thumbs up. If you can, afterwards, come back and like leave a comment, possibly share if you can, guys. Power Unity may have to be canceled on my part because I've been trying for 3 months to get X amount of donations, and I haven't even gotten anywhere near what I was looking to get. Like, I couldn't even pay for a case of water today. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but we'll talk more about that as the stream goes on. Mark H. Mark Halstead, you cannot save everyone, especially if they do not wish to be saved. Ask permission when giving advice. You have no right to control others. Act out of true compassion, not pity. Keep your own focus. Do not covet what others have. Real rescue in times of crisis is one of the highest deeds of humanity. I was having a deep conversation with some old friends about what our triggers have been in getting into relationships with people that we knew weren't quite right. Often, these relationships would lead to poor outcomes. For me and some of the others, the trigger was pity. Does this make sense? Yeah. It happens to a lot of light workers, and it doesn't just have to be romantic relationships. This is like when we meet someone who really doesn't have a lot of friends and we feel bad for them, but then we realize they're like a klepto, or like, you know, there's something there that like, or they're like maybe an active addiction. There's something there that we're like, okay, it makes sense now why this person doesn't always have a lot of people around them. But as light workers and empaths, a lot of us, hopefully not anymore, since you've been coming to Gemma Jade's Friday night spiritual lessons here, we would just be like, oh, well, doesn't affect me. Like, keep hanging out with the person so that they feel better about themselves the entire time we're like sinking lower and lower into whatever it is they've got going on. Mark, that's what's happening here. There's more to the card, but I don't want to lose my train of thought tonight because I didn't get a lot of sleep. So I'm just going to break the cards down as I go through them. The other thing here, it's not saying really, I don't see you like trying to control others or anything like that. what I see happening is somebody is venting to you and you have a reasonable solution that you think would be good for them to hear in your head, and you're trying to help and be a friend. And I think the person isn't looking for advice. They're kind of just looking to vent. So they're going to automatically take it as you know, maybe lecturing them or looking down on them, even though that's not something you would ever do. That's just not who you are as a human being. Thank you, Miss Jules. I did try a little bit harder tonight. It's just been a day. So make sure when you're speaking to friends and loved ones, and even like people around you, like, you know how with all of us or with most of us, like random strangers just like to tell us their life stories, and we're like, all we did was say hi. Just make sure if you're giving advice, you are asked in the next 2 weeks. So I'd say for the next week or two, just make sure you are specifically asked for your opinion. Otherwise, it could be taken the wrong way, and just like, for what, you know, when really you don't have to get involved at all. Just sit there and listen, or don't. Capricorn. I think it has more to do with just being a light worker and an empath. And if you found your way in here and you end up staying, we don't become too much for you. You more than likely are, and just didn't know. Compassion is different to pity. It's a completely different set of energies. And if we cultivate that instead, we see that being rescued isn't the answer to someone's problems. In fact, we may be stopping them from learning a lesson in a pattern breaking they need to do for themselves. If I feel pity now, I know it's a big red flag waving in front of my face, and I need to be aware of my actions in a scrupulous way. Excuse me. True rescue, though, the kind where we put our bodies on the line to secure someone's safety, is perhaps one of the highest acts we can perform. Ensuring people or animals are safe and out of harm's way is truly humanity at its highest. Mark H., the twins of Gemini, Polydeuces, and Castor, were referred to as the Dioscuri, or the twins, and were, amongst other things, the patron gods of sailors and of safe travel. They would appear at St. Elmo's fire, which is an electrical phenomenon that often occurs up the mast of boats during thunderstorms. This glowing fire of blue light was considered a sign for the sailors that the twins were looking after them and rescuing them. The twins finally met their end by doing something not so heroic when they decided to kidnap two women, Phoebe and Hilaria. These women were engaged to two former Argonauts, also twins, Idas and Lynceus. The men caught up with the twins and their fiancés and demanded the women be returned. There was fighting to rescue the women, and Castor was killed by Idas's hands and Polydeuces killed by Lynceus. What is it with the Greeks? They need to get like better names, no offense, but like they're very hard to pronounce. Sorry, guys. I am a hot mess tonight. You know, I make no apologies, except I'm sorry. What happened here? When Idas tried to continue to fight to avenge his brother, Zeus intervened by sending a thunderbolt to save his son. Polydeuces, as the son of Zeus, had immortality and not Castor, so he asked Zeus to share his immortality with his brother. Zeus allowed them every second day as immortals, and every other in Hades. He raised them up to the night sky, where they remain side by side forever. Words of power: I have no control over others, but can offer my support if needed. I feel like your message here, Mark, is more about really being able to understand where you fit. So it's almost like the reading I did for Mama Cindy, where it's like, okay, so do I really want to get involved here? Do I really need to get involved here? And if I get involved here, what's in it for me? And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I don't mean like you should help somebody because you're expecting something in return. What I mean is, if you're going into something knowing you're getting nothing in return and your help wasn't asked for, why are you getting into it? Even if, like most of us, you can see from a mile away that a marriage isn't going to last or a situation is not going to work out, there is nothing you can do to talk someone out of doing something that their heart wants to do. So I feel like in the next week or two, it's almost like, why bother to begin with? Mark D, I'm not sure what you are... What's going on? I was reading for the other Mark, just so you know. Your reading will be coming up, but that was for the other Mark. But if anything resonates with you, like as I'm going through doing everyone's readings, make sure that you kind of keep the message in the back of your mind, because that a lot of people will listen to the stream without commenting or anything, or without getting in a reading like specifically for themselves. They just take what resonates from the rest of the readings, and that works too. That's what I do. I don't know what's happening.
I have no idea. Mom is next.
All right,
Mark,
Mother.
coming up. I'll slide you in here in a minute. Just be patient. But Mom is next, then Heather B.
Mom, I'm going to use Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. I interrupt myself all the time. I was just saying that wasn't your reading. That was for Mark Halstead. Mark, if I were you, Mark Halstead, you're welcome. In the next couple of weeks, just like maybe keep to yourself. And if you have to, this is what I do when like I really want to say something because I know something is not right or something's not going to work out. I write it down and like tuck it away. Then if the person comes to me to like vent, then we can talk about it. But I would wait for someone to come to you for your advice or opinion before just offering it, because I feel like whoever this is, like their heart and or mind are already set on like what they're going to do. And there's nothing you're going to be able to say, even with like tangible evidence for whatever reason, to convince them that they're making a bad choice. But I know sometimes we like have to get it out. And that's why I write it down. Yes, Blue Crossroads, the Blue Crossroads deck. Okay, so Mom, in keeping in mind our private conversation earlier, card number 10, it's a deep card. It is the Ghostdragonzw, a card of blessings. So already sounds good. Mom, look deeper. Something that may seem like a curse is actually a blessing. Truth finds a way to be told. You are loved and you are protected. The Tlingit people have a deep, beautiful myth concerning a creature they called the Ghostdragonzw. A young man belongs to a village that is poor and fishing is not good. There is little to eat. He lives with his wife and mother-in-law, the latter who thinks him lazy. One night, he is walking around the beach looking for food, and in the quick coming darkness, he sees a sea monster close to shore. The monster steps upon the shore, and the young man captures and kills it. He skins the creature, thinking that the meat may be useful, but has the urge, for some reason, to try on the monster's skin. The skin melds with his skin, and he delves deep into the ocean as the monster called the Ghostdragonzw. He finds swimming as the monster through the sea invigorating. He sees and learns about another world. Mom, just before dawn, he returns, removes the skin, and goes back to the village. He's amazed at what has happened. That night, he has an idea that he will become the Ghostdragonzw again and look for fish. He puts the skin on, becomes the monster, and easily catches a huge salmon. He returns it to his human self, hides the skin, and brings the fish back to the village, and they're all happy. And so each night, he becomes the Ghostdragonzw and brings more food home before dawn, sometimes a seal, sometimes even a small whale. He tells his wife eventually of his secret, just in case something happens to him, and so she knows where he goes at night. Some stories say that the other sea creatures, such as whales, realized his deception and killed him for it. Others say he simply drowned. But one morning, the Ghostdragonzw is found dead on the shore. By this stage, the village is prosperous again and all are fed. None think him lazy. And so the young man's spirit returns to the ocean, which he truly loved. His wife would sometimes see his spirit as the Ghostdragonzw, and when she does, great prosperity comes to the village. It's said that if you see the monster, you too will be blessed with great fortune. Yes, he rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the holes again. Your plant companion, Mother, is salmonberry, and your crystal companion is labradorite, of which I believe I gave you a piece. It's like gray, but when you turn it, it looks kind of rainbow. I'll send you a snap of one. If not, when I see you, because I don't know like who's picking up Carol's clothes and the stuff she ordered from Temu from me, but I will put some labradorite in there. So Mom, this is a really good card. This card is talking about when you're looking to have more in your life in a way where it's kind of like you're, doing the same old thing. Like you're happy, you're not displeased or dissatisfied in any way, but it's like this blessing comes in where it's like, okay, this could be something new and I'm willing to give it a shot. And what this card is saying is that the only thing that can happen through whatever this blessing is, and you'll know, is that, thank you, Nutslap, is that your life can be enriched and changed for the better. And I don't feel like whatever this is, say for example, and I know how you are, you're like me with making friends, but just say somehow you make a new friend. This would be like, this is a really, really good thing for you. As long as it's like on the surface, right? So if that ever happened, I'd want to read for you again. If you ever like actually like started getting too close with the person, like just see what they're about. But the friendship or whatever this is in general right now in your life is exactly what you need. It's a blessing. I don't see anything negative about it. And in fact, I feel like it's going to enrich you in a lot of ways. And anyone who would look negatively on whatever this is, so I don't really know what it could be, getting a job maybe, or there's something here that certain people in your life are going to look at it negative, but eventually everyone's going to be able to see that it was a positive effect, whether it's something temporary that's coming in for a little while, or whether it's something that ends up being more permanent, right? So in the event of a friend, like someone you're friends with for the rest of your life, there's going to be naysayers about what this is. And I think that's what the card is telling you is like, just follow how you feel. You can sense when someone's full of poop. You can sense you have a very strong BS meter. So just use it. And I feel like any insecurity that comes up is just going to be normal insecurity. But I do not see anything negative about whatever this new thing coming into your life is. Jarvis!
Hey, Jarvis, she's watching Penguin and she likes it. Next is Heather B.
And that's both. But for the most part, I just said, I don't know what is out there. Ragweed, pollen. I don't know what falls in the fall in New Jersey, but whatever it is, no good. Thank you, Mother. I feel like I am. Who's next? I'm sorry, Ghost.
It's Heather B.
Okay, like I take up enough time talking. We don't need dead airspace too. Jeez.
Why? I'm a ghost. Ghost puts off a lot of air.
Yeah, and that's been a very frustrating couple of months. I really want to go to Power Unity, and I feel like it would be such a good thing for my career and just for me. And then the help just hasn't been there, I don't know. It's very disappointing because I put like, I would say now I no longer put like 80 hours worth of work a week into this channel, but I still put in a good 40 to 50 hour work week. And Mom, that would be amazing. That would be awesome. And I'm like making literally zero, like aside for the people that like the less than handful of people that'll like come to my rescue when I'm super duper desperate. I can't. And it's very frustrating because I feel like I could do so much more with this channel if I had the resources to be able to do it. All right, Miss Heather, you got La Serena. Yes, I would love to see my third born child. Send him in. Before I read for Heather, Mom, did you see the video I sent Demian of RJ? I didn't tell him to do that. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, I could give up, but I can't work outside of the house right now. So I love doing YouTube. I love the work. It just sucks not getting paid for it, right? Like, it really sucks. And like, normally it's like, okay, like it's a bad month, but this has been like a bad 10 months. And ever since I lost that writing contract, I've just been so screwed and so dependent on everyone. And I don't like that. So now it's like I needed $600 for Power Unity total. Over the last 4 months, I've been asking for donations. I've managed to raise 100. So now if I were to get the other 500, because hotel for 2 nights, lunch twice, dinner 3 times. If I were to even get it, I wouldn't be able to justify it because, like I said, I couldn't even pay for my water delivery today. So I would rather put it into my house for groceries. So now I'm like between a rock and a hard place because now it's like, okay, well, you know, I would need $1,000. And if I couldn't even raise 500 in 4 months, and I see scammers and fakes and liars and cheats and abusers just living large off YouTube money. And I'm just like, what's it going to take? Like, do I have to get political? Because then I'm going to lose most of who I have on here. It stinks. But like I was saying in the beginning to Heather, I feel like no matter how much we think as human beings, like, all right, like I don't need to know this lesson anymore, right? Like I've already learned all there is to learn. The universe knows better than we do. There's always something more that we're missing if we can't get out of something. If we're stuck in an abusive relationship, I'm not saying it would be the person's fault. It's just your soul wrote you into this for you to learn X, Y, Z, and A. So if you've only learned X, Y, and Z, you're almost there, but not quite, right? All right, Miss Heather, last Irina, card number 36. I used to make off YouTube up until I'd say 2021. So my first like 2.5 years, like $600 a month just in donations alone. I don't know what the economy, I'm sure, is what happened. But again, then I go on other people's streams and like people who pulled memberships from me took my membership to donate double to like a scam artist. Like I don't understand. I feel like being the good guy has gotten me I don't know. I'm struggling personally, if you guys can't tell, but I'm here for you all tonight, and maybe a miracle will happen. Heather, remember those who have come and passed, loves that lingered but couldn't last, questions raised but never asked, lulls the enchanting mermaid song. Remember joys from long ago, friends you now no longer know, dreams you had no time to sow. Her words are tempting but ring wrong. That didn't even rhyme. Oh, it rhymed with song. A captivating mermaid preparing for Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, is decked out with tiny skulls and flowers. She is seductive and enchanting, singing a song that is alluring but dangerous. So you got this in the upright. Do not get dizzy with the songs of the mermaid. Now, guys, I don't speak Spanish. My second language I learned in high school is ASL, so sign language. So I'm going to do the best I can on this. Con los cantos de sirena, no te vayas a marear. Remember to honor loved ones and your past, but do not get swallowed up in the memories. Heather, do not forget to live in the present and plan for the future, or you will be doomed to live in the shadows of others. Bear in mind, the past shines brighter in your memories than reality ever can. Do not be deceived into falsely remembering what has come before. They say the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That saying applies to time as well as space. Remain grounded in the present, not mired in the past or intoxicated with what could have or should have been. A life lived fully in the present with a healthy reverence for the past and an optimistic eye on the future is the best balance. Do not let the mermaid of remembrance beguile you. So, Mom, I just want to say, just putting it out there, if you ever did meet a friend, I would need their exact birthday so I could chart them. Just saying. Birth date, time of birth, if they have it, place of birth, perhaps. I don't, at the very least, we would need to know what their sign is. Just putting that out there. All right, Miss Michi, sign what? You want me to sign? Okay, I will, but it's going to cost you. Just saying. Thank you, Aunt Anna. Thank you. All right, Heather. Yeah, so congratulations, Mama Cindy Lee. New grandson is here. 7 pounds, 12 ounces. Jace Lee. Oh, God bless him and keep him. I love it. 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 Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is the kind of news we needed. All right. Sorry, Heather. I had to stop for that. That is amazing. All right. So I do feel in the next couple weeks, and this is important, girls, so listen up. Somebody is trying to skew your view of what the past was. So this is like you're living your life. I'm just using an ex for an example, right? It's the easiest way I can explain it to you, but take it how it resonates and put it in. You're like moving on, you're doing great, and then all of a sudden you bump into them and they're like, oh, remember that time when we went to the beach for your birthday? And remember that Christmas when I brought you the ring? And and you're like, you leave them thinking, man, I'm kind of lonely. Why did we ever break up in the first place? And you're thinking of all these great memories. No, girl, no. Like, remember why you broke up in the first place. So like with a job, if they call you back and they're offering you a promotion, like, don't only focus on what you perceived as the positive in the past, because I do see some gaslighting and manipulation here from someone to try to put it in your head of like, it wasn't that bad. You're overreacting. Like walking in on your spouse cheating and you literally can physically see the other person in bed with them and they're like, what are you going to believe? What I tell you or what you see with your own eyes? That is what narcissistic and toxic people do, right? They make us question our reality. And I feel like you have so pulled your energy and pulled yourself out of whatever this situation was, even if you haven't physically removed yourself. So for example, say you're still living with a narcissistic and or toxic spouse, but you've decided to just do you, right? You've emotionally withdrawn. The narcissist isn't stupid. They can tell when they're missing supply. And I'm not diagnosing anyone, just saying. So after a while, when they realize you're serious and they realize they're on the brink of losing you, they will step in to try to do something to keep you with them. But it's not because they care if you go, because they care about losing you. They care about losing supply. Okay? Don't allow yourself to be manipulated into thinking something was better than it was, because if it was that good, you would still either have it or be involved in it, right? Unless some crazy tragedy happened. Heather, you are doing so amazing. I just got done telling you, like, I'm so proud of you. I read your Facebook posts and I'm just like a proud mom. Like, I'm so proud of how far you've come, right? Don't let someone catch you in a weak moment where they're going to manipulate your thoughts and your feelings. You have no room for that. Okay. There's always room for grace and there's always room for forgiveness without reconciliation. There's no room for being sucked into something you struggled through and were tormented through and worked so hard and work hard every day to get yourself away from, whether that be energetically, physically, altogether. You are so welcome. Candy B, what's up, girl? You too. Thank you.
Sorry about that. You can leave me hang with dead air. That's not fair. Batmom.
I was trying to just look at you seriously, but then I realized you take that very seriously, and I didn't want you to think I was mad.
I'm in a good mood, so you're good.
No, nuts up. They should, though. And you know what? I mean, I got it off Temu, but this was supposed to be, from what the picture showed, a very bright, hot pink. And it's like this dull pastel pink.
Wow.
I mean, I love it.
It looks good.
It's beautiful, but it's not what I expected.
Maybe if you put lights on it at an angle or something, maybe it'd brighten it up a little bit.
This is just my Halloween tapestry. I'm going to take this one down. I have my bright, not the fairy forest one I had up before this one, but I have the bright pink, huge one that I haven't used in a long time. My first ever tapestry. I have that one.
I never used my moon either.
I can't find it. I can't find the mushroom one Smoochie sent me, and I can't find the moon one. It's here.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
In my stuff, but I don't know where, and I haven't been able to clean it out. But I will find it, because I actually do want to use the moon one, because I want to keep switching them like every few months. I thought the full moon one would be really nice for like spring, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have a cute snowman one for winter. Yes, thank you. I try to match my lipstick to my wigs as well. I don't try. It just happens that way. So I'm like, yeah, I tried to do that. Totally. I feel like I have hair. Yeah, so Jarvis, I want to do reactions so bad. I just need someone to teach me how to do it. That's all I need someone to do, is teach me how to do it. I want to react to the paranormal. I want to look at paranormal videos and listen to paranormal stories and react. I also, and you guys might think I'm a little cray-cray, but the other night I was looking up what Aunt Heather, because I was reading Heather. Aunt Edna told me, or told us, about Diddy being arrested for Pac's death. And I finally, about 5 days ago, thank you, Miss Smoochie Girl, decided to look it up. I was lying in bed, I was half asleep, and I somehow landed on a live Asmir channel. I'd never listened to Asmir before. When I tell you, I fell so deep asleep so quickly, I kept popping up. I put both my earbuds in, which I never do, and I was listening like, oh my gosh, like, I love this. I could totally do this. Now, I really can't as long as I have RJ sleeping in my room, but eventually, yeah, I was telling Nuts up, like, I could totally do this. I could, I've got the long nails. I can get a couple of the little things. I have a lot of big ideas for this channel, but you guys have to remember, it is just me. I don't have anyone researching for me. I don't have anyone fact checking. I have nobody editing. It's just me. So that's why, like, I don't have a whole team behind me to help make my videos look amazing, right? So I can only work with what I have. And I do put a lot of money into this channel. This past month, I didn't even make enough money to cover the $10 a month for this site that I use for my research. StreamYard went up from $25 to $40 per month, and Canva to make thumbnails is $15. So right there, that is $40, $55, $65 a month I have to make to keep this channel going, and I didn't even make that. That's what's frustrating. Who said it to me? I think it was Blue Crossroads. They're like, yeah, he's like, I like watching people reacting. He's like, but the people reacting to people reacting need to go home. This book is due back Tuesday. What? Who's next?
That mom.
I don't know. I thought it was so good. I love Asmir. I've been watching the same video, though. I don't want to get too deep into the rabbit hole of it. But there are so many different directions I want to take this channel in, guys. I mean, I want to gain more than 2,000 subs a year. I just feel like everything I try, like, I don't know. I don't want to get too depressed about it, but it is very frustrating when I can't pay bills and I'm working 60 hours a week. And Power Unity is a huge deal for me. But I just, barring, something crazy happening and me making, and actually I have to book within like the next week or I'm not going to get, a hotel. So I'd have to make like $600 in the next week and a half. If I can't even make 65 in 1 month, that's not happening. So, I mean, allegedly he was responsible for the deaths of Tupac and possibly Biggie, but I believe he was arrested on Pac's. All right, Miss Batmom. Ludacris or Slip Daddy. Did you guys hear Eminem's new song? He's like, what did he say? I've got so many essays, meaning essay, like written, but S-A. And he's like, I'm the biggest R-A-P-E-R. Wait, he didn't just spell rapper and leave out a P, did he? Yeah. He's like, I got so many essays, like S-A's. You guys got to hear it. It's pretty good.
I meant to tell you something.
What's up?
Guess who Giles went and saw Wednesday night? Jelly Roll. You know who Jelly Roll is, don't you? You don't?
Yes. Oh my God, that is awesome. Actually, I love Jelly Roll. She's amazing.
Actually, Jelly Roll is the best friends of Ashley's first boy.
No, I've heard the name because RJ listens to it.
Yeah, he's RJ, his Rebecca's dad, is best friends with him.
Nice.
So the whole family went last night, and Giles cried because he couldn't go and sit with EJ in the back with the. But yeah, I told Aunt Edna, and she got all excited.
I'm gonna have to look up again who it is, but I know the name because I know RJ listens to a song, and one of the singers is Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah,
so Asmir.
I'm shutting up.
No, I was looking up Miss Smoochie. It stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. It's a tingling sensation that usually begins on the scalp and moves down the back of the neck and upper spine.
It's auditory.
So what it is like I would take my super duper long nails and like scratch them against something and click them against something and whisper into the microphone. Or I'd like put cellophane on a microphone and tap it. And it's all of these really amazing sounds that makes your whole body just tingle normally so you can fall asleep. And I was just joking. I know Jelly Roll is a guy. I just can't, I don't know any songs off the top of my head. I was only joking.
But I really didn't know who he was either. I just, I'm not in that music scene. And
I don't even know what kind of music it is. I just know I remember joking with RJ being like, who sings this? Jelly Roll, joking around.
Yeah.
All right, Bat Mom, I did pull a card for you from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle. And you got the Reconnect with Mother Earth card. Plant, Garden, Harvest. Yep, Smoochie can't say that, okay? Can't. Okay. I don't want to lose my $3 from this stream that I'm going to make next month. Meaning the YouTube money. I do not mean you guys, but YouTube money, I'll make about $3 off of 200 views. That's another reason I don't make as much, because up until like November of, I think it was 2022, they, okay, I know who he is now. YouTube only took like 33 or not 43, 33 or like 31%, and they didn't touch donations. Now they take 49% of everything. All right, Miss Batmom. I always thought, Nutslap, that I would think it was annoying. Right? But I didn't. I don't know how it popped up. She was just live. The girl was annoying me. But just like her, not like the sounds like, she wasn't talking about like Asmir stuff. She was talking about like her haircut. And then I realized what annoys me in her is exactly what I put you guys through every Friday night. So it's looking deep inside, guys, and finding, why does this person turn me off the minute I hear them speak? She reminded me of me. That's why. Is it really, Jarvis? Incan culture is renowned for engineering and adaptation. The Incan people transformed the plains, deserts, mountains, and tropical jungles by constructing roads, building terraces, canals, and an irrigation network. Crop rotation and fertilization were used to produce crops including potatoes, nuts, maize, pepper, avocados, tomatoes, and quinoa. The Incas appeased their deities with rituals, songs, and offerings, as when unhappy, they could cause droughts, floods, and earthquakes, all of which would affect crops. The calendar was marked with religious ceremonies that were held in holy places called huacas. The Incan goddess Pachamama is akin to Mother Earth. She represents the feminine soul of nature and is the provider of life, food, animals, and water. Connected to the mountains, she could cause earthquakes, but also had the power to sustain life. She was ever present in Incan life, and many shrines were devoted to her. So, Batmom, I would never tell you in chat to get religious. If you believe in religion, and I don't remember if you do or not, I would just say maybe, like, if it's a religion where you pray, just pray more. If it's a religion where you do rituals and offerings, do that a little bit more. But at the end of the day, whether you do any of that or not, this is telling you you need time to yourself. Do you see the butterflies? The butterflies in Oracle and Tarot always, no matter what, and without a doubt, symbolize freedom. Thank you, Aunt Edna. Mark Dune, if you still want your reading, you are next. this is you breaking free of whatever this is. And it hit me like, you know, this suffocating energy. There's something and or someone in your life that is just making you feel very, very smothered. This could have been going on for a long time, or maybe it's only going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I feel like it's something you can't get out of. So like your job, right? You can't just quit your job because you're having a bad couple of days or a bad couple of years. If you don't have another one lined up, how are you going to pay your bills? But what you can do is take a break and get to know Batmom again. This is particularly important in the next 2 weeks, that if you don't, you know, go for random walks, go to the beach and walk on the sand, go into the forest and walk with your bare feet, you know, on the periphery. You're not going to walk through the forest with bare feet. If you can't do any of that, go on your front lawn and stand under the moonlight in your bare feet, as long as your feet are on the ground. And take at least 5 to 12 minutes to be silent. I always close my eyes and just breathe. And I know it sounds so simplistic and even a little ridiculous, but I am telling you, Batmom, it works. Every time I'm sitting in this chair, so every pre-recorded video, every live stream, I have bare feet on a grounding mat. It's not the exact same, but it is really good. And when I can't get outside because it's too cold or for whatever other reason, I always spend time on this grounding mat. You are disconnecting from your own reality, meaning the spiritual reality of what your soul is here to do. Now, that could have always been the case, but I do feel like in the past few months, or at least for a while, you were connected. Like you had an idea of what you wanted to do. You were at the very least making an attempt, taking actionable steps behind your manifestations. But now it's just like, it's like there's not enough time in the day. You have to make that time or it's going to get really bad. Okay. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I don't usually give that message. So I give it with confidence that if you don't, sorry, I have a stray hair that's really itching me. Okay. I think I got it. If you don't do this, you're just going to become more and more and more overwhelmed. And people like us, Batmom, you know what I'm talking about? We can't afford that. Nobody can afford that. But particularly, you can't. All right? Please. You can't be all things to all people all the time and never anything to yourself. We've all learned that, and we've all learned it the hard way. Even the men in here, I'm not just talking to the ladies. I have glue on the side of my nail. That's why I keep biting. It's almost off, guys. All right, Mark Dune, give me 1 sec and I got you. This is how I run my stream. I'm a professional. But you know what, Anna? It's okay to be a realist with those you love too. Because if they genuinely love you back, then the reality of your situation is going to be love. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm sure you're more willing, thank you, Mark Dune, to forgive those you love because you understand it was, in fact, a mistake. But there is nothing wrong with that. I've seen you go through hell just through these readings. All right. Mark D, I'm going to use the Vampire Oracle. Guys, don't forget, support the shorts. I've been doing a ton lately. And I've made a complete and total fool of myself for your guys' entertainment. Okay, thank you, Mr. Jarvis. I will definitely grab that link. No, just being kind. We do have a new gemstone, though. Mark D. Welcome to the island of misfit toys. Yeah, Batmom, it's so easy to get caught up in that, you know. But eventually we have to, that's why we need each other, right? To be able to see our way out. Just now, Anna? Yeah, Yeah, Mark D, I'll do my best to answer it. Go ahead, shoot. I will say I'm married, so but listen, here's what I can do for you. I'm not a psychic medium, I'm a physical medium, but I am an oracle, and I work best through cards. Here I pull one card, I can give you answers. But remember that free will and the choices we make can change any answer I give you. The only thing that usually doesn't change is if I see someone dying. So I can't be like, your coach is going to call you next week at 7:00. I'm not a psychic, but I can tell you what the cards say about your future in fighting and whether or not you'll be successful. To a point. With one card, it's not that much information comes in, but I got you. I'll do the best I can for you. That's why you don't see like a lot of people in here asking questions, because it's always so general, but I don't mind when you guys do, as long as it's with the understanding that I'm not psychic. Psychic knower is different than psychic, and I think I need to change that in my my bio. All right, you got transgression, flaws, contradictions, and mistakes. So I'm using the card as a guide, but I have your spirit team here. So don't take what thank you. Don't take what the card says at face value until I interpret it for you. Because sometimes they could sound really negative and they're not, and sometimes they are. So you got card number 41. Okay. Mark D. Thank you. I'm married to a boomer. Is there such thing as being married to the boomer? I guess. There are many in this world, vampire and human, fairy and otherworldly creature, who seem to delight in the faults of others, using them as a way of proving their own worth. See, they point out, you are worse than I. And could there be any worse than the killing of a sacred animal, this unicorn now mourned so deeply by this little vampire? This is false glory and disturbing to all of us who live long lives, to see so many worry that they have sinned and hurt others and cannot be forgiven, and to see others glory in the guilt they use to manipulate and feel righteous. The most perfected souls upon this planet have all created moments in their lives where they have gone against their own values and their own hearts, their own souls, and transgressed. They have hurt themselves as they have hurt others. And so when you see this card and wonder what it is you've done wrong, know it's this. It's not correct to assume that your faults and your flaws, your poor decisions, and yes, the mistakes you have made are more ghastly than anyone else's. So there's an extra message here, so just listen in. There is not one amongst any of us who has not done something wrong, and it's good that we vampires and you humans can feel remorse and take steps to correct ourselves and to do better. But what we witness from here is that you're being told again and again by either someone who's abusive in your life or your own abusive part of yourself that you're guilty, wrong, and that you can't ever be forgiven. You must now take steps to correct what can be corrected, apologize clearly and once if it's the right thing for you to do, and then forgive yourself. To continually internally erode your own value due to another's encouragement is a false kind of virtue. There's no good in hurting yourself over and over to prove how sorry you are. Live better, do better, but let your self-punishment go, and don't allow anyone else to utilize your compassionate remorse to their own end, because, yeah, that's what they're doing. We are all human and otherworldly creature going to transgress against the natural laws and the laws of our own souls. What we do about it is what matters. Go on and make amends, then give thanks for all the gifts of Go on now and make amends, then give thanks for the gift of self-forgiveness. So the blessing, when we go against our integrity, our soul will let us know. And if we continue to deny that inner voice, the universe will show us where we're going wrong. Curse, crowding out your inner voice, continuing down a path that you know is against the truth of your soul, and breaking universal laws. In working with this card, you should make amends, take stock, assess, and redirect, and come back into harmony with the voice of your soul. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with the message that I just got, and then I'll go into answering your question. So the first thing is you have to, or should, this is what the universe is telling you to do. This is not advice from me. It's what your team is saying. You have to let it go. Like whatever's been done to you and whatever you've done to someone else, it's time to move on. If you've already said you're sorry or not, right? Because apology never has to equal reconciliation. So I do see in the next couple of months, someone from your past coming in to try to manipulate you back in to whatever it was. So a romantic relationship, an employment opportunity, something that you left behind and you were like, phew, thank goodness I got out of that. Never again. This person is very manipulative, very toxic. Now, as far as what you want to do in your life, like being an MMA fighter, the cards literally said to make sure you're following your own spirit, right? Your heart is the biggest deceiver. Your mind will trick you every time by overthinking. Particularly if you're a Capricorn. Like, I know revenge sounds really good, but, and of course you can do whatever you want, right? But your team is trying to tell you that you can be excellent and amazing at this or whatever you choose to do. If you're only going into it for revenge, though, you're not going to succeed. You might succeed in getting your revenge, but you're not going to succeed in being this, that great at what you're doing because your heart is in the wrong place. So if I were you and I were getting this advice, what I would do in the next couple of weeks is reassess why you want to do this. And again, go through with it if you want to. You're not going to be terrible. You'll be good at it. You'll get your revenge. But it could come at the cost of humiliating yourself as well. And for what? I also feel like whoever this person is you're trying to get revenge on is the person and or the people who are coming back in to try and make amends. But I want you to be aware, the warning here is very clear. They are not actually trying to make amends. They're not, it's like they have some ulterior motive. They have to be the one to end things with you, or they're trying to get revenge on you, or the revenge is a very, revenge operates at a very low vibration. And I feel like if you found yourself in here, you're operating at a higher vibration than revenge. And I feel like that's why you asked the questions you did. I feel like your instinct and intuition, which is your team, your own guardian angels, spirit guides, your higher self, your ancestors, they all are giving you that instinct, that intuition of why are we putting this much time, effort, and energy into getting revenge on someone who is so toxic that we need to get revenge on them. You have an amazing light and amazing energy, and I feel like you're vibrating so much higher than revenge vibrates. I would put, if I were you, more time into making sure I don't allow this person or these people back in. Like, don't let your walls down. They are manipulative, they're dirty, and I'm sorry, but their energy is nothing but garbage. So yes, you will be successful to a point. You'll more than likely get your revenge, but it will end in some kind of humiliation for you. Thank you, Aunt Edna. It's not me. Nutsob, where are you going? You didn't even get a reading. Text me later. Do you want a timestamp? Mark, you know what? You may come out of that, though. That's how you're feeling now, and like, go with that. It's good to feel those emotions sometimes, as long as, you don't take it to an extreme degree and like physically hurt anybody. But I do feel like once you get to a certain point, because you are a light worker and you're vibrating higher than revenge, I don't see you really going through with this. I know right now you're like, this chick doesn't know me. She has no idea. Like, I was in addiction for almost 6 years. I'm almost 6 years in recovery now. I was the most horrible, manipulative, evil, nasty, lower vibrational, using, abusing, cheating, beating human being you would ever meet. I was soulless, heartless, and I always thought I was right because people suck and I'm tired of being hurt and people hurt you. And then I connected with my gifts and my spirituality, and I look back and I'm like, oh gosh, like I hope by helping people I can make right the things I did. There's going to be regret. You have to do what you have to do. It's your path. And you're welcome here regardless of what you decide. But I just want you to know that it will end in humiliation for you at some point. This could be 10 years down the line. Just letting you know. Johnny Yuma, hey, if you want a reading, please don't leave beforehand. If we have time, I'd like to time stamp Nut Slap, please. Because I know if he left, it was for a reason.
$5. That's fine.
All right, let me ask my friend if I can borrow $5.
You're fine.
Did your
my
phone
phone's
go
already
off?
ringing.
You knew exactly where I was going with that.
Yes, I did. Richard's next.
Thank you for paying for my water today. I do appreciate you.
You're
Richard good. Elmore. Nah. I might have used this deck for you last week. I'm not sure, but Oracle of the Radiant Sun is calling to me, so let's do it. Right, Anna? Yeah. Multifaceted jewels. Yeah, right there. You guys, you know, you're all very connected anyway, but I feel like when we come together, that's why you guys a lot of the time will put in chat like what you're picking up on the card or the person. I want you guys to do that. That never bothers me. I love that because that's you guys, whether you realize it or not, working with your ability and connecting to spirit. Nomeo. Yeah, Mark D, you know, like I said, I really do believe you will. I see that for you. But I'll just say that, like, it's better to not feel that way, but I do know how that feels. So I'm not judging you or indicting you one way or another. You know, if you can get revenge, go you. But like I said, and I don't mean to preach, but it's not going to end well for you. The other person, you know, they'll be hurt or whatever it is you'll accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, but it's not going to be without your detriment. Chin Nut Slap left us. Life with Bobby, yes, you guys are amazing. Life with Bobby, you're a part of that amazingness, you know. You are the group or a part of the group. Richard, are you here? He is here?
Yes, he is here. He let me know he was here.
Got you. Yeah, and a faux show. I feel like that's why I'm dealing with a lot of the stuff I'm dealing with right now. All the scams and hustles I pulled. That's why I think I'm learning this valuable lesson of working for free. Oh my gosh. I love this wig, but now I remember why I didn't wear it in a while. I have like 5 pink ones, you know. It's not always the same one. All right. Richard, I believe this is Jupiter. I say this every week. I really have to learn these symbols. Nope, not Jupiter. Saturn? Saturn in Cancer. Richard, people with Saturn in the sign of Cancer show responsibility and self-discipline where family matters are concerned. Often, this planet sign combination indicates people whose own early environment may have been harsh or severe and who may still have a few emotional scars. For this reason, it is more than usually important that the people this card describes improve their own family circumstances, although real home comforts and security are likely to come later in life. There will be periods during which Saturn Cancerians feel emotionally isolated from the family or may have to take on extra responsibility. Whatever this may be, they take family and social responsibility seriously, valuing stability and security. Negatively, however, this can produce over-possessiveness towards material things and loved ones. Conscientious work in caring for or helping others will prove fulfilling throughout life for Saturn Cancerians. Often, this planet sign combination indicates the need for much hard work to keep up required standards of security and comfort. Nevertheless, feelings are hidden from public view to maintain dignity. Saturn Cancer people suffer conflicting moods that manifest as difficulty in expressing feelings for fear of losing their own dignity. When this card is revealed in a reading, it can indicate a struggle to maintain family or home security. It may involve accepting reluctantly the material assistance of an institution. Work for a charity or institution, a responsible post in which one is rewarded for good work, rewards for social work, foster parenting. I believe in foster parenting. All right. Now, Richard. It's not that. It's itchy, but not in the way you're thinking. I brushed it before I put it on, and I forgot to pull all the extra strands. So now they're in my corset, which is tight. So I can't get there like on my stomach and boobs, and it's itchy. Jared, what up, yo? All right, Richard, listen. Here's I'm going to tell you the 411. In the next couple of weeks, I feel like financially you could be taking a hit or worrying for no reason about finances. There is someone in your life, whether it's family or someone you perceive as family, or it could even be someone that looks at you like your family. What's up, Divine? They look at you as family. Someone is coming to you and like asking for money, or you're already helping them with something. There is a financial drain and strain here that is like no longer necessary. So let me give you an example. Say for a while you're paying your son's rent, and you're doing this for a year until he gets on his feet. He's working an amazing job. He could pay his rent 4 times over, but you're still paying it because you're in that arrangement with him. Now you're coming up on the 11th month and you're a little short. Should you have to sacrifice to pay your son's rent when he can pay it 4 times over just because 11 months ago you said you should? I feel like there's a conflict here where like you're like, okay, I said I was going to do this, but in reality, it's going to put a big strain on your finances. So I don't know what this is. It's okay to say no. The act of saying no in and of itself is not unkind or low vibrational. You could have $10 million. You do not have to give or lend anyone 1 penny of it. You don't have to. In the next couple of weeks, Richard, Jared, I would really, in the next couple of weeks, I would just be careful, like what you invest in, who you invest in specifically. Be sure you're not being manipulated or lied to about where your investment or your money is going. Don't lend money to friends or family in the next couple of weeks. I just don't see it ending well. I feel like if you're responsible and you just keep doing what you're doing, you're fine. But like somebody is coming in to try to get money from you, and it's not for like an up and up reason. It's not like your child's coming to you and needing help with rent. And like, that's actually what it is. This is somebody who just wants some money to like gamble or do drugs, or like they just want some extra money because they do. Don't even go there. Mark D, you're only 22. My 3rd born son just turned 20 on Wednesday. My oldest will be 25. And I have a 23-year-old and a 6-year-old. Who's next?
Sorry, I'm typing names. Life with Bobby.
Don't be sorry. I'm not. I don't like the dead air, but I leave it sometimes. It's not that serious. Jared, you are so sweet. Are you hanging out for a reading, please? Thank you, Miss Divine. Yeah, it was on Wednesday, October 9th. It is your son. Wow, I did pick up a son, but I don't want to say that because I wasn't 100% sure. Listen, Richard, if I desperately need help, I could technically go to my mom, but I would have to be like on the streets. Not because she wouldn't help me, but because I feel like at my age, I'll be 42 in March. I should be taking care of her, right? At that age, and this is no offense to your son or judgment on him. I'm just saying for me personally in that situation, I feel like if you have a 40-year-old kid, they should be looking for ways to take care of you. And of course, people have issues and problems, and you know, I understand. I get it. But I would just be really careful, Richard, what you're helping him with financially, that he doesn't end up stealing from you. I don't know. I don't know if he would ever do that. I'm just saying you are going to, I'm seeing in the next couple of weeks, if you keep dealing with X person, who I think is a son, you're going to be in trouble financially. Happy birthday, Richard. All right. One more time. I'm so sorry. Who am I shuffling right now?
Life with Bobby.
Like, that's not who I was shuffling for, is it?
Yes. You just did Richard, right?
Yes. Okay.
Life with Bobby. Don't you screw me up. I'm trying to do a good job here.
I thought for some reason you said a guy's name. All right. Miss Life with Bobby, you got passion, kindle, glow, and spark. Oh, Jared, that's so funny. So I had a best friend all throughout my childhood. His name was John D. Benedetto. This dude would literally follow me home. He was like my first ever stalker. Best friend. I loved him. Every time I would talk to him, though, he would just stand there and stare at me like this. From the time we were in first grade on. Then I lost touch with him. This was before social media. And then I met a really, really close friend named John Benedetto, right? Then I got Facebook, and my first ever Facebook friend was my buddy John from when I was little. I finally gave him a chance at dating me. Yeah, when we were like 23. He cheated within 3 months after being in love with me for 15 years at the time. And people wonder why I don't trust. All right, Life with Bobby, you got passion. He comes in here sometimes. I believe, what is his name on here? Jack something. Okay. Life with Bobby, the Oracle message is ablaze with enthusiasm and gusto. A spark of creativity ignites the power of passion within. Everything starts with an inspirational awareness and a flash of spontaneous ingenuity. Tap into your intuitive genius to awaken and channel imaginative ideas. The Firefly Fairy sparks a soulful offering that brings countless blessings. Your alluring powers are fueled with the light of joy. Be playful, frolic, and have fun with the Firefly Fairy, and opulence will be a natural consequence. You have to start somewhere, right? This is the beginning of a beautiful new pathway of innovation. Inventiveness leads to artistic endeavors that inspire and motivate others. Persistence and passion will pay off, Bobby. Have faith in action and move forward with confidence to shine your creative light into the world. Consistent momentum ensures copious rewards. When working with passion, your intention is vital. Infuse your magical contribution with positivity, love, and fairy dust. Nurture your projects with tender, loving care to safeguard a successful outcome. Have the courage to birth and share your precious treasures with others. Creativity is your birthright, so ignite your light and shine bright like the Firefly Fairy. Enjoy the journey with a devoted, loving heart. Glow, flow, and flourish, dear heart. Your affirmation: I awaken the creativity within me. Okay. Life with Bobby, I could literally hear you rolling your eyes. So don't roll your eyes at me, girl. This is a very upbeat, confident card, okay? Oh my gosh, Jared, me too. One tried to run me over one time in the parking lot of the diner I worked at. So this is you. This is you just kind of going for it. And I know Life with Bobby, like just from reading your energy, you're not in a place right now where you're feeling very creative or feeling very effective to other people, right? But in the next couple of weeks is going to be your chance. I don't know if this is art, like you're making art, if you're writing. You guys know I'm a best-selling author, like 5 times over, and words are my art. I love writing. I always have. There's something in you that's awakening. And I don't know when the full moon is. I should know that, but I don't. Particularly around the time of the full moon. I see you just getting an idea to do something, but here's the thing. This is your push to do it. So if you're sitting there looking out at the full moon and you're like, I want to paint. you're going to be like, nah, I don't feel like doing that. I got to go through. This card is telling you, no, get your butt up and paint. Like when the inspiration hits, just take a chance. What's the word I'm looking for? Skulk your way over to doing it and do it unjoyfully if you have to. Just do it because it will become a joy and it'll become maybe a hobby and something that eventually you'll be able to share. It is something coming back into your life that you haven't felt a joy for in a while. And it could very well be photography. All you have to do is use your camera, share your photos. You have to get back, Bobby, to doing what you enjoy. And I feel like I know exactly where you are because I've been there many, many times. Not saying I'm there now, maybe I am, where you know it'll make you happy, but you just don't have the energy anymore to try doing it. It's just like, I'm done, like with everything. Like if you want to come around, like that's cool. I'm not going to entertain you. Like I'm not going out of my way. Like the effort is missing. This isn't a permanent place. And this card is exactly... it's talking about exactly what's going to bring you out of that. Do it reluctantly at first, if necessary, because I promise it's in the next few weeks. If you say it's photography, just say, just snap pictures at things that you think are beautiful. Just, you're not doing your hobby. You're just taking nice pictures. Once you start looking at them, it'll start, like the feeling will start to grow of like, ooh, I know what I can photograph, or I know, you know what I mean? Hey, local squatch. And it'll become a joy again. And it'll bring at least some of your passion back for other things too, not just for that one thing. You deserve this. You deserve to be pulled out of this funk. Unfortunately, I don't really feel any energy around you that's going to pull you out. You're going to have to do it. But you do have the power to do it. Your team is with you. Your ancestors specifically are guiding you to do this. I don't know if that means anything to you, but it's particularly important to your ancestors that you get back on the saddle with whatever it is. You could go through the next week and it ends up being something completely different. Whatever it is, please do it. Do it reluctantly. Like I said, do it reluctantly for 30 seconds a day. It is going to become a joy again, I promise, but you have to do it first. Who's next?
Okay, next is Edna. Sweet and lovely lady.
So local squatch, I know you sometimes come in and then bounce, which is perfectly fine. But if you want a reading, just let us know and we'll see if we can work something out for you. Life with Bobby, then please go do it. I'm actually going to be filming some shorts outside in my beautiful yard because I have no earth in my chart. I think I've told you this, guys. Told you guys this many times. And I never want to be outside ever. Like I abhor it. Like I don't want to go in the woods. I don't want to do any of that. But I know a lot of the time I need to. And I think that's a lot of the reason I stay in these funks for as long as I do. Because I'm not connected to the earth. I'm not grounded. I have no earth at all. I have it in my 2nd and 11th house, might be 10th. I have Capricorn there. And luckily for that, because people with no earth at all, like even in their houses, are very slovenly. They're like the people you see on Extreme Hoarders. Most of them don't have earth anywhere. I am saved by the Capricorn in my 6th, or I think it's Taurus in 6th and Capricorn in 11th. Okay, local squatch, I got you. So let us know like 5 or 10 minutes before you're going to leave and we'll do one for you because you don't always come in and ask and you hardly ever get readings. So I don't mind. Jared, you are so sweet. All right. Damn it, I forgot again. Aunt Edna.
Say Josephine's name so she knows she's coming up.
Josephine, honey, you're coming up. Not this card, but you are coming up. So I'm going to say a name right now that's going to sound like something else, and we're all going to have to act like adults because otherwise YouTube will demonetize me. Okay, I'm going to take a puff of this and a sip of that, and we're all going to not go crazy in the chat because we are adults. I am a professional. All right, Edna, you got card number 33. Volva, V-O-L-V-A. Prophecy, guidance, and direction. I am not surprised at all you got this card. This is very high feminine energy. So the feminine deals with emotions, positivity, secrecy, even secrecy. And Edna, there are those who can see beyond the present moment, who can see the way the web is woven, and who can connect to its strands and share with others the messages they long to hear. Such a one is the Volva, a witch, a seer, a woman who can see beyond the physical world. So I guess I would be one of these too. When she comes to you, you are being asked to connect to your own roots, symbolized by her staff, and you can connect deeply into the earth and begin to listen to the language of the world and to receive its messages. It is imperative that you honor her and her messages through respectful listening and by making space to act on the guidance given to you. The advice and magical guidance given through this card is feminine in its aspect. I knew it. Yet it is anything but stereotypical. It is strong and wild and fierce. There is a ruthless quality to the truth that will now come to you, but because of its clarity, there will be great healing. You're also being asked to consider your independence, to no longer give up your freedom simply to have relationships. And I think most of us who have been coming in here for a while do know that. We're not giving up anything the other person ain't willing to give up, and we're never giving up our freedoms. Male and female, guys. The Volva is not celibate, but she never allows herself to be possessed by relationship. This too is your fate for a time. Hear now the voice of the Volva. Take up your staff, strike it into the earth, and listen for the messages to come forth. Sorry, I'm itchy in my face. I was just thinking of Miss Casey. I wanted to send her a bereavement gift. I really want to do that for her. These are the kinds of things I want to do, guys. Once my channel is big, when I'm big, like the con artists and the scammers and the fakes, but I'm going to make it by being honest and by being real. And whoever follows, follows, you know. I just get frustrated because, like, I know at least 5 people who are on here saying that they're this, that, and the other, and they're not. I know one person that, you know, harassed in a, I can't say the word. So not S-aid, S-harassed young women, sent them expensive gifts in exchange for photos. And this person makes thousands of dollars in donations. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on it. This just popped into my head. Like, what is going on with the world? I thought of that, Aunt Edna, because I feel as though you are in a place where you could also be becoming frustrated with the world around you, but not in like a super duper negative way. I just feel like you're just like, you know, try something else. Like, we've been here already. Like, someone's trying to manipulate you. And you're just sitting there, like, not even listening to them because you already know the whole spiel. Like, you're bored with the BS. So this is the universe saying, you know, do something about it. And I feel like you do. This is encouragement for you to just be more yourself, do more for yourself. But don't take other people trying to manipulate you so lightly, because I feel like you have a right to stand up for yourself. And you're in a place where you know how to do that now, right? Without being cruel or getting yourself in trouble. Just saying, like, look, this is no longer going to work. So just move on, you know, and just being brutally honest. Now, I always say, I'm a hypocrite. Honesty never has to be brutal. But in situations like this, where someone's trying to disturb your peace or take something from you or manipulate you, toxicity, narcissism, F them. I feel like you are so just over it that you need to say that, or it's not going to stop. And in the next couple of weeks, I feel like you're going to have the perfect opportunity. Now, I also see, oh, thank you, Divine. I love it. Thank you for saying that. Yes, somebody is watching. I also see you in a situation where people around you, some of them, not all of them, who don't know all the facts, or who this other person has, like, kind of, they're manipulating this person too. So I'm going to use this example. Again, it's just an example. Thank you. And I said, oh my God, she's so right. Say you have an addict in your family and you were giving them money years ago, but then you understood that they were an addict and you stopped. Every once in a while, they come around to try to manipulate you into giving them money again. There are other people who this person is manipulating, who believe this person's BS. So you might be in a situation in the next couple of weeks where either you're together with them for whatever reason, or the story just goes like, that game Chinese telephone or whatever it's called, where like you're going to stand up for yourself with this person for once and for all. And it doesn't mean they're not going to come back, because this person, for whatever reason, just loves manipulating people and you are a target. It's like they want your energy because you're vibrating so high. They want to just bleed you dry of it. But you are going to get pushback from people around you because they don't understand the whole situation. And here's the thing with this card, they don't need to. They'll find out in time. You may want to tell them to try to save them the hurt or save them whatever you went through with this toxic and or narcissistic person. Honey, don't bother, please. I know it might hurt you to see like this person taking advantage of an elderly family member, or, they're not going to listen. It's their lesson to learn, and they're not there yet. And Anna said, I even said that she's disturbing my peace. Are you spying on me? Well, your team is there. They're there with you every second. They're here with me now, and they're with you. And this is the information they're relaying. And thank you for letting me know it resonates, because that does help. And I love hearing that. No, it's like you are the only person who sees through this lie right now. It's not going to be like that forever. And then you can be there to provide comfort if you choose. But trying to warn them in advance or like even defend yourself, you don't owe anyone any of that. They will see the truth eventually, and then they're going to owe you an apology. For now though, girl, just keep doing your thing, mama. Drained energy vampire. Yeah, I can feel it. You can feel sorry. Love her from afar. She's got so many people around her in her pocket. I know this type of person because I was one. Every person was either an opportunity or I didn't bother with people. And I'm not saying that because I'm proud of it. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not guilty for it either. I've made peace with it. I've given back what I could. I've apologized where I could and made amends. And that's that. You've got to move on from those things, but they have to learn that lesson just like you did. My dear is still here. Are you going to watch? Hey, Netter. Melbourne, hi. Or Melbourne, sorry. Welcome. Mom, are you going to watch the Salem's Lot? And tell Damien he should watch The Penguin. It's on the Max I gave you today. Oh my God. I didn't even get to, I never nap, but since my son had a half day and I knew I wasn't going to have a long day, I took the whole day to just chill, hoping to take a nap. It didn't work because I was hooked. Yeah, Anna, you are so very welcome.
Next is Josephine.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I was just getting ready to do that.
You're welcome. I did it.
Okay, yeah.
It's been a while. All right, remember, we just block, delete, and move forward. Who's next?
Yep. Josephine.
All right, Miss Josephine. Oh, excuse me. Can we get your friend's birthday? It doesn't have to be time and place. If you can get that, that's great. But at least the actual birth date, like mine's March 1st, 1983. Jared, I don't have the patience. Netter, how you doing, honey? And I'm just so relieved. Okay. Do you remember the comparison I gave you on the phone? It's not with me, honey. But that's okay. I believe that that's a really actually good friendship. Mom, I got you. I'll talk to you more privately about it. You were 11 in 83? No, just a troll. I just block them, delete them, and I don't give them the attention they're seeking. Thank you, Aunt Edna. Oh, I meant to give you your wrench last week, Jared, but you had left. So let me do this reading real quick, and then I'm going to do that for you. Old. I just told you my third born son turns 20. I feel ancient. Life with Bobby, nice. So I'm a couple months older. I'm just saying. I'm the elder. I'm just kidding. All right. Josephine, you got card number 24 in the upright position, head in the clouds. It's just netter boys being boys. It's disgusting what that person said. And what that person said is similar to what someone said to me on Facebook that my kids almost saw, my sons no less, that I had to, now I can't be tagged in anything anymore because one person. Mark H actually caught it and he's like, Gemma, you got to delete this. And you don't believe what this person said. Like we were both on the phone just blushing like, oh my God. Josephine, well, hello up there. How was the view from up there? Are you living in a dreamy, almost obscure day to day? Having dreams is what makes the world go round, but do not get so lost in that dream that you forgot your own reality. It's easy to get lost in the fantasy of it all. While dreaming is amazing, you must take different avenues to get to them, setting and manifesting your intentions. Perhaps a vision board will help you get a little more grounded to manifest your dreams, as opposed to having your head in the clouds and just waiting for your dreams to manifest without taking any real part in making them come true. So, Nether, I wish I had the opportunity for that. I'll talk to you about that privately. When you aren't allowed to have thoughts, opinions, views, values, or space, it's not easy. Josephine, there's a lot going on here. Number one, dreaming is amazing. Like dreaming of that. I always dream of my big wedding where I'm going to be a princess, right? I never had a big wedding. But like I would have to put steps towards that, right? I'd have to get maybe a wedding planner or in a venue. Like that was a stupid example, but you guys know what I mean. Like I want to open a spiritual retreat, which is going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I'm broke. But realistically, if I continue to work and get a contract and keep taking the steps that I'm taking and don't give up, I will get there eventually. It was my 10-year plan 2 years ago. So, I haven't made much progress, but I still have that dream. And the point I think here, or I know here, Josephine, is taking actionable steps toward our goals. You just got out of or are still enmeshed in, I can't really tell. It's kind of like half in, half out of this very, very toxic relationship, whether it was romantic or otherwise. Okay. So you're not in a position right now to stay stagnant. You have to keep moving forward or else you're going to be sucked back into whatever this was. Also, I feel like somebody, again, is selling you a bill of goods. So in Jersey, I don't know if they say this everywhere, but if you believe something that's obviously like not true, someone will say, oh, you believe that? I have a bridge in Brooklyn I'd like to sell you, right? Josephine, someone here is like future faking you. They are telling you like, don't worry, I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to help you with this. I just need you to do X, Y, Z. Like someone telling someone, run away, leave your entire life behind, change everything about yourself, and I will give you the life you dream of. And believing them, and then you run off with them and leave everything behind and change everything about yourself, and they hate your guts and do nothing for you. That's what's going to happen to you. These butterflies, they do symbolize freedom, but look, they're still attached. They're attached to the dream, meaning your freedom, you're restricted here. You are restricted in this relationship because you are depending on someone else who sold you a bill of goods. They have no intention of doing anything they said they were going to do. And I feel like either that toxic and or narcissistic person either lured you back in or they're about to if you're not careful. This person is saying everything you want to hear. They're saying all the right things. Josephine, please, if you've already gotten out, do not go back. If you're already back in, start getting back out. Here's the thing with light workers, right? We get back into these toxic situations with these narcissists or whatever the diagnosis is for these evil people we always end up with. Lotus girl. So once we get back in there, we realize very quickly that Netter, yes, exactly that. We realized very quickly nothing's going to change and that we were lied to. And the thing is, when we realize that, it's like the other person really hasn't done anything yet. It takes them a while to get back into that abuse. And we're like, well, I can't just leave. They haven't done anything. Yes, they have. They lied. They have no intention of fulfilling anything they said. Josephine, you are being hoodwinked. If you're in it, please get out. It doesn't matter if they didn't do anything now. What about all the other things they've done to you? What about everything you've lost inside and outside of yourself? Your self-esteem, your dignity, your freedom. But as of right now, it's a self-imposed imprisonment because you are having expectation of someone that you know is not going to follow through. And my heart bleeds for you because I've been through it. And it's so painful to understand that someone who says they love you and will care for you, and you've done everything they've asked that you've agreed to, has not one iota of intention of following through with even the smallest little thing. It's heart-shattering. Get out of it. My baby boy! Hey, Damien. Everybody on Barring Chain is my son, Damien, my actual son that I gave birth to. Not like, Lotus is my sister. This is my actual child, even though he's a 20-year-old man. Dee, would you like a reading? I can give you one quick. That's okay, Lotus Girl. I appreciate you popping in. I know what you got going on, so I'm never like, no. Too old now, my back hurts. So it's funny because I was making fun of Ray the other day because RJ woke him up and it was kind of cold in the room. We sleep with a cold room because we all are hot sleepers. And RJ went over and he's like, come on, Daddy, carry me down the stairs. And Ray said, my bones have to wake up first. And I started like jokingly making fun of him. I'm like, oh, come on, old man. He's almost 30 years older than me, but he doesn't look like it and he doesn't act like it, right? And I remember making fun of him. And 3 days later, so 2 days ago, I woke up and when I stood up, I fell right to the ground. My knees hadn't woken up yet. And RJ's like, what's wrong? I'm like, my bones have to wake up. So, that was like instant karma. All right, let me read for Damien. Damien, I'm going to use Aether Creatures. Smoochie, control yourself, please. After Damien, I'm going to go to the restroom. Damien, on the Max account, I want you to watch Penguin. There's only 3 episodes, but it's exactly like The Sopranos, but it takes place in Gotham.
It is Sopranos in Gotham. You'll love it.
It's so good. Okay. These cards, there's 76 of them. Well, it's on Max, so you can watch it now. I watched all 3 episodes today. It was hypnotizing. Lotus, I've always had arthritis in my hands, but now I don't know, like my knee. You guys know I have that issue. I believe I've been implanted in my knee, but this was the other knee. So I know it's because I sleep with RJ and I'm 5'7" and my 6-year-old is as tall as my shoulder. So when he lays this way, his legs are on me. I don't want to wake him up, so I just don't move. I've learned to sleep on my back sitting halfway up. Blue, Damien's in the chat. Lotus Girl in the chat. Oh, Lotus Girl. Okay, so the new Salem's Lot movie and the show Penguin. There's only 3 episodes, but it's actually really, really good. There was something else I wanted to watch on there too. I'll let you know. Girl, I'll find stuff because I just got it today. So I'm going to be looking through it. Definitely the new Salem's Lot, though. It was really good. All right, Damien, you got the Chupacabra. Finally, something I know and can pronounce. Card number 4 in the reverse position. Damien's about to get his driver's license at the end of the month. Oh, Damien, it definitely is. It's funny because I was going to message you and tell you to watch it. And as soon as Ghost and I got on here, he was like, you need to tell Dee to watch Penguin. And he said the exact same thing I was going to text you. It's like The Sopranos, only it takes place in Gotham. All right. Yes, Blue Crossroads says, happy birthday, Damien, another October kid. So Blue Crossroads' birthday is next week, the 19th. Oh, Smoochy, your daughter's birthday is the 9th as well? Blue Crossroads thought I forgot his birthday. Damien and Blue Crossroads are the only reasons that I trust Libra men, because I've had bad experiences with them. Okay, Damien, if the Chupacabra has appeared to you in reverse, you are either stuck in a pattern of chronic scapegoating in your life, or you are scapegoating in the situation at hand. You're pushing someone or something away or blaming them so as to avoid something within yourself. It is understandable that you'd want to avoid painful things, but for the sake of your own well-being, now is the time to make the problem about you. Take radical ownership. What personal truth or fault or fear or pain is inside of you that you're trying to deny? You're most likely deflecting and diverting the attention and projecting in the situation at hand. If you focus on the problems that currently exist inside of you at this time, then the actual solution, as well as the changes that are necessary to attain actual life satisfaction, will become obvious. And no one else will have to suffer so that you can avoid facing and owning and resolving them. The Chupacabra in reverse calls you out of your personal avoidance patterns and thus directly to the solution you seek. So this actually isn't as bad as it sounds. Damien, this is basically, honestly, oh yeah, Jared's birthday was the 8th. Exactly what you're doing. Moving out of a pattern of kind of dwelling, right? You took 2 huge hits. Your father and then bio dad within a month. That's a huge thing at 17 to have to deal with, right? And I'm not going to get too personal here, but this is something I've talked about already. You lost both your dads, or both your fathers, I'd say, within a month. And I saw firsthand how that affected you. So this is actually a really good reading, Damien, because it's exactly what you're doing. You're pulling yourself out of that. And like, yes, you have that pain there, but you're no longer being like, I can't do this because it hurts too much, or I can't do this. Like, if I do this, it reminds me of this person, but I'm going to let that be okay. I'm going to bring in a good memory and feel good about it. There's no avoidance anymore. Maybe some, but you're young. You're moving out of that. I just want to say I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I keep thinking of the day you were born and like crying, but you're on the right path. You're doing the right things. It's about understanding that your pain is something you feel, not something you do, right? You can feel it and move through it. And it was okay, yeah, to be in that circle. It's perfectly understandable. But now to break out of it and just be like I said, I don't want to cry, to have those memories and keep them in your heart, but also be able to say like, all right, you know, that happened. I'm going to feel that. I'm going to deal with that moment and I'm going to keep moving, right? Because you were stuck for a while. So I'm actually really happy to see this. And I'm happy to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. I love you so much. And I miss you. Sorry, that was Mom Gemma. Sorry.
Next to Smoochie.
I am a total boy mom. Smoochie girl. What do I want to use for Miss Smoochie? Let's use the Wild Wisdom of the Fairy. I hope Miss Pixie's better as well. I haven't reached out, but I think I'm gonna. I say every night I'm gonna reach out, and then by the time I remember, it's so late, and I'm not sure between New Jersey and New Mexico how many hours there are. I actually wore eye makeup today, so I'm not going to allow myself to cry. When it comes to my kids, man, I am very soft. Very soft. Yes, boy, with your license, I'll give you gas money. You just come get me. We'll go like to the mall or something. We'll hang out. But yeah, I'm going to come up and visit for a weekend soon. Aunt Teresa said she's getting a room ready so that RJ and I can come visit. And just so you know, I did pick out a dress to match costumes with you at Carol's party. But I can't go. So I just want you to know I didn't forget about you. It was a beautiful dress too. I should have just bought it so that I could be like, oh, well, I already have it. Might as well wear it. Next year we'll match. I love you, sweetie. Thank you for coming in. It means a lot to me. Gabe Itch. Oh, same person. Look at that. Guys, just don't talk about them once I block them or once you block them. All right. Miss Snitchy Girl. Allergies, yeah. It is, though, in a way, because I am like really, it's weird. Once I turned 40, I had allergies. Guys, do me a favor. We seem to have an obsessed stalker that keeps changing accounts and coming in saying disgusting things. I'm going to give Jared a wrench and then just keep your eye on it for me. All right. I love you, sweetie. Yeah, I'll see you really soon, though. And I'll probably talk to you tomorrow or Sunday. Let me just get in here, guys, and give Jared a wrench. And again, block and delete, block, report, delete, and don't even mention it. I refuse to give them attention. Let me just get on here. YouTube. Smoochie, I got you. I pulled you a card, honey. I feel so special. It's been so long since I've had someone making sexually inappropriate comments at me. And of course, it's like right when my son's in there. All right, let me pop in here. No, thanks. All right, I'm going to leave that up. As soon as the chat pops in. Yes, Damien, exactly. As soon as the chat pops in, Jared, you'll have your wrench. Behave just a little. Just enough for YouTube. You know who hasn't been in here in a while? Eris. Right? I mean,
he's been in here. He just hides. He just hasn't been getting a reading, but he's been popping in and out.
Yeah, he texted me the other day. We were talking about Squalled, the diet pill I'm taking, which, by the way, I took my last one today. So upset. I could go for days without eating on that stuff. All right. Smoochie, you got carry me home. Support. Time to be carried. Allowing others to help. Card number 27. All right. There he is. As moderator. All right. Okay. Smoochie puts herself in timeout all the time. That's why she's still allowed to be in here. She times herself out. She's like, oops, I know. Yeah, they're actually, I want to get some more. I got them for shipping costs only. So I paid like $9, but they're normally $50 a bottle. They're about to be banned because they like work too well. They've got something in them, but they really work. But you know what I want more than the diet pills that I think worked even better and wasn't as like dangerous. I could still like eat. Like I made mac and cheese. I take a bite of food and I'm just like in my mouth. I don't know. They work. Skinny Fit collagen. That stuff, I was thriving on that. And it's like $55 a month for a bag. I can't afford it anymore. I stopped taking my care vitamins. I had to stop taking my nutrition shakes. I had to give all that stuff up, which I don't care, but I want that Skinny Fit back. I'm actually going to put it on my Amazon wish list to just see if anyone picks it up. All right, Smoochie. See these beautiful things? Can you feel the loving trust that lies peaceably between them? See how she leans on him without shame or feeling weak, without criticism, self-criticism, or embarrassment. See the bliss on her face and the relaxation flowing through her etheric body. And see how strong he is, how he loves her, and how he welcomes this time when he can carry her a little further on their paths. He welcomes this. There is no resentment, no pain, and nothing to owe for the gift being given at this time. Now it is time for you to allow someone else to carry you for a time, to give to you and support you on your way home. Take this time to lift up and move you further along your path, because there are times in our lives when we are tired, but we are still happy, and even happier still if someone can let us rest and carry us forward. I was saying this last night to my husband. I'm like, dude, like you hear I'm upset, I'm angry. And in 5 years, you have not once asked me, hey, what's wrong? Because he always assumes it's about him and he doesn't want to hear it because he knows then he's going to be accountable, right? That's just how our relationship is. But like, there are times like I want someone to say, I want him to say, are you okay? How can I help? What can I do? Like he used to, right? I want him to, when he apologizes, not just expect everything to be over with until he does it again the next day or a week later. I want him to be like, oh, this hurts her. Let me change that, because that's what I do. But he won't admit it. And I feel like you're dealing with a lot of the same thing. 1 meal a day. Blue, you look really good though. Working out and everything. I'm digging it. I'm not hitting on you. I'm just saying you look good. You look a lot better than when I first met you, taking care of yourself. Smoochie, in that happy yet exhausted place where we have done good work and fulfilled our commitments to ourselves and to others, you can finally allow yourself to accept the support of someone who truly wants you to lean on them. When we truly lean to surrender to what is, support in many forms will come. Reversed meaning, refusing the support of another for fear of what you may owe after accepting the support. Oh, I'm very familiar with that. Feeling unsure about the terms of exchange of protection and love, fearing that to relinquish control means to let go of your own self and strength, seeing your own independence as a state which must be maintained, no matter how tired you are, no matter how far you've traveled, and no matter how loving it would be to allow another to give the strength to you for a time. Confusing the acceptance of support with weakness. For now, Smoochie, consider your beliefs around your own strength and know there are other strengths, and that one of these could be the acceptance of love and support when you're tiring. Smooch, I do feel somebody coming into your life. Hey, Latro. Nice. I would eat a ribeye right now. Like, I would tear a ribeye up. Period. As the kids say. I've been asking my husband to take me to Outback for like 6 years. I mean, eventually I'm just going to take myself and RJ. Me too, Jared. Smoochie, I feel someone coming in that is attracted to you. I don't know if it's going to be romantic. Latro, what's up, honey? Thank you, by the way. But someone is coming in and being like, I'm here. I want to love you. I'll take care of you. Let me help you with that. Again, whether it's romantic or otherwise. I know you're married. I know your situation. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm only telling you what I'm seeing. There is someone coming in that is willing to help. And this person's willing to help without, there's no exchange here. The exchange is your happiness, taking a load off of you, making you feel valued for you. Smoochie, unfortunately, I don't feel like you have a lot of that in your life. And I feel like, and I'm not trying to out you, but I feel like you're lonely and you're depressed and you're, I don't know. I just feel your dog, Latro, probably senses the spirits that are around me right now. When I pull everything in your guys' teams, I also end up pulling in things from the woods, things from other dimensions. Like, there's a lot going on behind this camera. Just say that. And your dog is probably aware. Pine Island, hey! So, Smoochie, there is a possibility of an affair here on your end. I'm just keeping it real. If you could be like, no way, Gems, is not going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to be sexual. I do believe there's going to be an emotional entanglement here. And it could be with a male or a female. I'm not seeing which one. But I feel like this is going to be, I mean, kind of good for you. Again, not like to go and cheat on your sick husband, but to be able to emotionally connect with someone who really understands you and who's willing to just allow you to vent and not want anything in return. Help you in many ways. This is either a friendship or an affair. It is an emotional connection. And I feel like this is a soul-mated connection. So there's really no way that you're going to be able to just be like, nah. But how deep you get is up to you. There is someone coming in like this if they're not already there. And I feel like as long as you don't cross into having an affair, you need this friendship in your life. You charted it in. They charted in to be there. They're here at this time for a reason. Accept their help. Don't be afraid. Because even if they want something in return, as long as that wasn't the deal, they can go fly a shoe. And it could be a squatch, girl. Jared, for sure. Yeah, guys, don't forget, please donate. PayPal, Cash App. Again, I don't think Power Unity is possible because I've tried for 4 months to raise $600 and I only raised $100. And if I raise $500, I'm gonna use it for groceries. I'm just saying. Plus, it's almost too late to rent a hotel. I'm not making anything. So if you guys can donate, that would be great. I hate feeling it's embarrassing. I feel like I'm begging. but I am working. But I also don't want to make things uncomfortable for people. So if you can donate, please do. If you already do donate or help me in any way, I appreciate it so much. I don't like complaining because I get to do what I love for a living. But at the same time, I'm not making a living. So I do need help. Let me use the restroom and I'll be right back. If Smoochie goes missing, we'll know a Squatch carried her off. That Squatch ain't going to have to carry her off. Smoochie going to go find that Squatch and just live in its hut with it. She's going to turn Squatch.
Okay. Andrew, are you still here? Let me know because you're next. Then Jared, then Divine, then Mike J, and Local Squatch. If you're still here, let me know because I'll get you in too. I'm sorry about that. And then New England, if you want one, Latro, and Pine, if you want one, then we're almost done. So, Andrew, if you're here, please let me know. If not, I'm sure she may do a timestamp for you. All I ask is if we do timestamps for folks, please let me know that you got it and listen to it or whatever, so that way it's not a waste of time at the end of the night. I hate to say it that way, but okay, you're coming up. I'll tell you what, if Andrew doesn't answer, I'll put him on hold and go ahead and do you, okay? Local, sound good? Ooh, my voice is cracking. Hey, Chris, are you going to want a card tonight, sir? Because you're coming up too. So since Andrew's not answering, he might be busy. I know he's running, so we'll see if Gemma wants to give him a timestamp. Only if he listens to it. And then we'll do you now. Local Squatch, okay? Sorry about that. I tried to fit you in earlier, but I wanted to get some people. I know some people take off too, so. Our Pelican Ghost Dragon. Crazy. I don't know. I shaved. I feel a little younger. Kind of feel naked now. I don't know. It's the second time I've done it for you guys. It just feels weird, but I do it right before Christmas. That way my beard comes in thicker for Santa Claus time with the kids.
Sorry, I thought you were done talking.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. Go ahead and do local because Andrew's not answering. So I don't know if you want to do timestamp. But I'm telling
I think
people,
Andrew also said he was answering the phone or something. We can do, so we have Lotus, Casey, Andrew, and Nutslap.
Right. I don't mind doing timestamps as long as they let me know they're checking them out because I don't want to be a waste of your time.
I'll let Nutslap know for sure. And the girls already know.
Yes, I do.
Right.
Know.
Who is it? Oh, Local Squatch. All right. Local Squatch. I'm going to use Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Yeah, Blue, thank you for that. Netter, you can have a reading if you want. You have another monthly coming. I'm not really in a rush. I mean, I'm going to play Fortnite when I'm done regardless, so. Maybe take a couple selfies because I do like the way I look tonight, finally, for once. All right. Local Squatch, you got Saturn in Pisces, the card of loss. I never pull Pisces cards. It's a big deal. So this doesn't mean your Saturn is in Pisces, like in your chart, local, but it does mean that in the next couple weeks, this is the energy coming in for you. And of course, I will explain it for you. What is happening? Oh, okay. I see. Because it said Saturn, ambition, Pisces is understanding, sympathy, and sacrifice, but the card is loss. Local Squatch, much of the Saturn Piscean potential for self-discipline and responsibility is invested in helping other people with problems. The sensitivity of people with this planet sign combination to others' needs can make it difficult for them not to become involved in helping people in some way. This is almost the same as like if you have a Pisces moon, blue, we usually resonate more with our moon sign. So I'm a Libra moon, and I feel like I act more Libra than I do Pisces, which is my sun sign. That's why blue, you resonate more with Pisces. If this manifests in a professional job, then all is well and good, but the demands will be great on you. Saturn Pisceans have a strong insight into the motivations of those around them, but should be careful that they don't lose their own identity when faced with other people's demands. Guys, I am so involved with other people, I literally pick up accents. Excessive imagination and sympathy can create problems that don't really exist, as other people's sadness, sorrows, and losses will become your own. Often, Saturn Pisceans feel the desire or need to work in seclusion or to retreat from the world in some way. It may be that they'll be attracted to the study of the deeper processes in the unconscious mind and in such interests as psychology, but watch that an excessive tendency to compulsively look inward does not become an over-obsession. Saturn Pisceans are better looking outward towards others than looking within themselves. When this card is chosen in a reading, Squatch, it indicates a loss of some kind, but it may be worth thinking about what is really concerned here. What is really concerned here? Could it be that the inquirer is really worrying about someone else's loss and not their own? So this is the feeling of loss. Situations involving hospitals or health clinics, work in the field of complementary therapies, counseling others, developing interest in the occult. So, all right. Somebody you know that's close to you could be in the hospital or ending up there. This isn't a loss like a death, but there is something going on here. This person... So local Squatch, this is your energy for the next 2 weeks. I don't know if your Saturn is in Pisces, good Lord, like anything other than Sun in Pisces, like I can't imagine. I have something in Pisces. I think it is Saturn. You are taking on other people's energy. And like we all do that, but most of us in here have learned and found a way through me, if I do take a little bit of the credit, not all of it, but a little bit, to not do that, right? So for example, I always talk about like, say you're in a bar and there's 200 people and everyone's laughing and drinking and having a great time and singing karaoke. And all of a sudden you are so sad, like you're crying in a corner. You go into the bathroom and realize there's one person out of the whole 200 that are happy that's sad, and you picked up their energy and took it on yourself. In the next 2 weeks, if you feel depressed, sad, if you start being overly obsessive with something or someone, I want you to really stop and think about what's going on around you. Who's around you? What are they going through? You are dealing with emotions and feelings that are not yours, and it's going to make you literally lose your mind. Okay? So be very hyper aware even of your emotional vibration. If you start to suddenly feel something, now this isn't to say like if something bad happens and you feel upset or angry or whatever, that's not authentic and real and you shouldn't feel that. What it's saying is like you're totally fine and then all of a sudden you're hit with like anger out of nowhere. Somebody around you is angry. You need to protect yourself from this. So normally what I do on the rare occasion I do leave my house is I put a protective bubble of energy around myself. And all you have to do that is close your eyes and imagine a bright golden or white, whichever resonates with you. I always put both, light. And it starts right here in your heart and it pulls out. Deep breath, breathe the light in, breathe the light out, and then imagine it as a giant bubble, just a big shield protecting your entire body, head to toe. And then walk out the door. When you start to feel unsafe, angry, sad, unhappy, whatever, anything lower vibrational or negative, remember you have that bubble. Negative people will literally cross the street to get away from you when you do that. I'm telling you, it works. As for whoever's in the hospital, I would say, obviously, if you're close to them, you want to go visit them. Just make sure you protect yourself before you do. You are incredibly empathic, as all of us in here are, but in the next 2 weeks, it's like tenfold. If you think it's bad now, it's going to get so much worse, but it doesn't have to. Just protect yourself. Be who you are, feel what you feel, grow through what you go through, make sure you get through it. But be very, very careful. Also, one more quick thing. I know this is kind of long. In the next 2 weeks, be careful of people putting their poop on you. Like being, like I was talking to my son, being scapegoated, like being blamed for stuff you didn't do. And then like having to explain yourself, like you don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't owe anyone closure. There is someone here who's pointing their finger at you because they don't want to be accountable for something they did. Let that play out on the sidelines. I wouldn't even bother getting involved in that. I would just be like, you know what? If you want to believe that person and think that about me, have a good one. Because they'll eventually find out the truth. And then it'll be up to you how you want to deal with the situation. The next 2 weeks are going to be rough for you emotionally. I wish I had better news. But when you come out of this, you're going to be stronger and wiser and better able to work with the energy of like blocking other people's poop. Who's next?
Jared.
Jared, I'm going to use Shaman's Dream. Squatch, are you mad with me? I feel like that reading was so like downtrodden. I'm so sorry. Mike J, is this like a work number or like what's going on here? Latro, if you want a reading tonight, please let us know before you sneak out. Okay, so it does apply. All right, you're so welcome. I worry about Ghost and Giles and Pop in Ohio because of, I'm not going to get political, just certain things going on. Scares me. Susie Q. Yes, absolutely, Miss Jules. What the heck was that? Are you okay? I'm not, Edna, I should know that. Netter usually messages me and he's like, just so you know, tomorrow's the full moon. I got my crew. Steven, are you okay?
Just a cramp.
All right, I'm just looking for the next full moon. I have a lunar calendar, like right October full moon, super moon. Okay, I don't want to talk about that. Thursday, October 17th at 7:26 a.m. Eastern Time, a full moon occurs when the moon's disk is fully visible, reflecting the sun's light. Okay, so the Hunter's moon is going to be full. Just so you know, guys, when you get boxes from me, which I went out and bought product because some of you said you wanted boxes, and then I wasted my money. But I do have moon water from every moon. So I have Hunter's moon water. All right, Jared, you got straddling words, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Card number 52 in the upright. These are all upright though. Aurora. Whenever I hear Aurora now, I think of Sleeping Beauty because like now I know her name is Aurora. I didn't know that growing up. She was just Sleeping Beauty. Okay. Jared, when the Straddling Worlds card shows up, it's an invitation to get used to living with 1 foot in your old world and 1 foot in the new. There's no going back to the way things once were, and what will be is not fully here yet. So this is you, and again, not taking credit where it isn't due. This is you coming in here and commingling with us and being around people whose energy matches yours. And this will change you. And again, I'm not taking really the credit because it's your guys' team, it's spirit, but you will be changed and you'll look at things in your life a lot differently once you understand more about your empathic abilities and being a light worker and narcissism. Because even though I'm not like a head shrinker, I'm not like a professional expert psychologist, I am a spiritual advisor. It is what I do. I've taken courses on it. I'm certified, but I haven't used any of it in so long. I have to pull it out to tell you what it is. High priestess from witch school, which is actually what it's called. You're going to like learn all these things that just come out in these readings. And I feel like I'm not done even reading the book yet, but I feel like there's something in your life that you knew wasn't right to begin with. But now that you're like spending time with like-minded people and like starting to think and really take a look, and I know you're a jokester and you're sarcastic, and sometimes we do that as a cover. I mean, I enjoy your company in here. I think you're a great fit, but you're going to start looking at your life differently now and understanding that in certain areas you deserve better. And you probably already always knew that somewhere inside of you, but now it's like out and about. You must find the delicate balance that can bring you delight as you relish the past and all of your memories, along with awe as you glimpse the astonishing and exciting future. Do not wait for applause. Move on quietly, humbly, and invisible to others. This card brings an invitation to begin not only a new chapter, but a new book in your life. Do not break the news to anyone. Let people be as surprised as you are as you reinvent yourself. Make sure you're not just a slightly improved and more polished version of a dated and obsolete you. Birth yourself into something original, something new. Don't feel like you have to explain yourself or be understood by anyone. Become a mystery even to yourself. Gaze into the mirror one morning and be pleasantly surprised. Straddling Worlds invites you to become a true wizard, not one who performs magic tricks, but one who has mastered the dance between the visible and the invisible worlds, between the realms of form and formlessness. You are the birther of new ideas, of original and sustainable ways of being in this world. This is basically like, oh, no, Mio, I was going to timestamp you. I'm glad you're back. This is basically you, like, if you can find it in you to do it, this is you literally ghosting people. Like looking at your life and being like, okay, this person doesn't fit. Boy, bye, girl, bye, 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 they bye. This person is no good. This situation, and just like bing, bing, bing. And it's not going to be at the snap of a finger fast like that, but you are hyper aware, particularly in the coming, for the rest of the year. I see you going into January completely and totally reborn in an awakening. Right now, you're in a dark night of the soul. And 98% of that dark night is because of one particular person around you. It's not going to be easy for you to get away from that person. So what I always recommend when someone is in a romantic relationship or otherwise living with the narcissist and or toxic person in their life, emotionally detach as quickly as you can. It took me a few years when I was in a relationship like this to be able to fully emotionally attach. And even then I was still had those expectations and that hope, but not all the time. And I wasn't as floored when I was let down. I didn't drop so far. My narcissist didn't even bother to like breadcrumb me. It was just like, I literally can't stand you. And I'm just, and I hated that. And but I know like moving forward, that's going to be even better because it's going to be less of a heartbreak once I deal with all that. And I feel like that's what you're going through too. Like you have to start emotionally detaching. Yeah, it is. It's really bad. But I feel like you feel me. And you have to start the process of moving on because you're only going to stay stuck, still, and stagnant in misery with whoever this is. If it's a parent, I'm sorry, you got to cut ties. If it's a child, if it's a lover, if it's a sibling, like whoever this is, I feel like you live with them. You either live with them or work with them because there's a thing. And I know we spoke personally, but I don't want to put all your business out here. So you know what this is. You know what you have to do. It could take years. Try not to let it take years. Don't waste your life in the pursuit of changing someone who is never going to change. Instead, you can focus that energy on making yourself a better person and being the best version of Jared Crazy Indian you can be because you are amazing. Yeah, we do. We have a lot personally in common, That's why I understand that it's going to be tough for you. But if you don't do it, you are just going to be stuck. And it's sad because you do have a lot of potential and so much to offer. Have to cut those cords. It's hard. Yeah. Who's next, hon? You want me to do Andrew?
You can do that, or you can do Divine. Whatever. She was next, but that's fine because I did call him. So
I'll do Divine and then I'll do Andrew. I don't think Andrew will mind. And I know Divine has her meeting. I actually had to use my inhaler yesterday. I had a severe asthma. Like, it wasn't a panic attack or anything. It was just a regular old asthma attack. And luckily, my little guy found my inhaler for me because I could not, I couldn't breathe. And that hasn't happened to me in years. There wasn't panic in it, though, which is good. It was just I couldn't breathe. I vape a lot, as you guys see. You are so welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, Miss Divine Empathic. I know. Yeah, and I know. It's so hard, though. I feel like I gave up so much. I could at least keep my nicotine. But at the same time, like, I know better. So eventually it will go. I've got plans, but right now it is a very big crutch for me. So local Squatch, listen, when I finally get my 1,000 followers on TikTok, I'm going to be doing what I call musical channeling. I did. I thought it was so much better. I've got to go back and watch the first one, though, because I haven't seen that since I was a kid. I just watched it today. So when I get the 1,000 followers on TikTok, I'm going to be doing what I call musical channeling. It's going to be one of the many kinds of channeling I'm going to be doing. And what I'll do is I'll just play music. And as I play the music, spirit will start to come through to me and giving me messages. I'll be like, okay, we have a guy here. He's in his 50s. He died of some sort of something with the heart. The name Bob, like something like that, right? And then people will be drawn into that stream, and somebody will claim Bob. And then I'll have if that person, I am charging for it. If that person pays X amount of dollars, I'll connect them to Bob. I'm not going to do that on YouTube because it would be too much with the live streaming. TikTok is so much easier. But I may do a live stream doing that on YouTube if any of y'all are interested in it. All right. Divine, sorry about that. So I got this as a backup. My oldest son recommended it to me because I'm running out of my regular pod vape juice. I'm broke. So, all right. Oh, Desiree, she who yearns, yearn, longing, pine for. This is interesting. Divine, Desiree, she who yearns, longingly watches the moon rise. She sheds her robes and ribbons, for they are not needed in the coming dark of night. She will return her laurel wreath and lyre to the sun god Apollo. Her realm is the mystery of the night. Desiree seeks her divine feminine self in the cycles of the moon. Birds come winging toward her. Messengers from the moon carry the answer she seeks. Desiree teaches us how to fully commit to pursuing our dreams. Rather than hoping for something, she has begun the process of making her desires real. That's what you're doing, Divine. The message of this card is to commit fully to your wants or admit you are simply stuck in the mode of pining for what you cannot have or cannot reach. Your energy is at stake here. Will you shed yourself of what you do not need in order to gain what it is you really want? Are you unsure of your yearning? Wishful thinking has its place, but now is the moment to drive forward to your goal or set the goal aside. The moon is reachable if you dedicate the necessary resources. How far away is the thing you're yearning for? Are your goals realistic? And are you giving up too much or not enough? Where's the balance? So, Divine, I feel like you're on this amazing path of self-discovery, self-exploration, moving on up and away from like toxicity. You're raising your vibration slowly but surely. I feel like you could be in the next couple of weeks, if it's not already happening, like second guessing yourself a lot more than you normally would be. That's the energy of like the solar flares, the full moon coming in. Now that I know the full moon's coming in, a lot of these readings make a lot of sense. Hey, Lady Blind Wolf, welcome. This card is saying, like, why put the energy into second guessing? Either it's reachable or it isn't. It's attainable or it isn't. And what I'm seeing with your team here is like, I'm seeing like make a list, a goal for 3 months, a goal for 6 months, a goal for a year. And then make little ones. Like by next week, I'll have done X, Y, Z. And that sounds like a lot of extra work and a lot of extra steps. But for some reason in the next 2 weeks, Divine, you need this. You need this extra push forward because I feel like you are getting stuck, stale, and stagnant. You're second guessing. Well, Divine, just send me a text and we can talk about it. Yeah, please text me because I can send it right out. I bought a whole bunch of really cool stuff, and since you're the only one who's getting one, you'll get a lot of that. So, yeah, that is a really cool avatar. Divine, don't second guess yourself. You got this. You know where you're going. Do not let lower vibrational people plant the seed in your head that you may have done or are doing something wrong. You have come to terms or are coming to terms with any mistakes you made, and you're adamant about not making them again. And that's really all that matters. Nomeo, I'm using Halloween. Lady Blind Wolf, if you would like a reading, just let us know. And we'll bump you up a little bit so you don't have to wait as long because it's your first time here. Conway Fitty? No, what is that? Blue Crossroads, yeah. The song Wish You Were Here is a song that connects me with Damien's biological father, my best friend since I was like 11 or 12 years old, who passed of an overdose in 2021, I believe. 2022, January 23rd, he passed. And that song connects me to him. And then the song Comfortably Numb, I know it's not actually about addiction, it's about mental illness, but to me it reminds me of addiction and I cry. And there's another song by Pink Floyd that I absolutely love. I put it as a Facebook status years ago. I used to put it all the time. It's that song, The Lunatic is in My Head. That song? Okay, Lady B, no problem at all. You are more than welcome. Yeah, he is, right? All right, let me get moving here. So, Nomeo, this is for you. This is the Halloween Oracle. Lady B, welcome. Make yourself comfortable, honey. And anything that resonates, take with you. Okay, so I'm not surprised. Of course, Nomeo winning, you got the owl card. Like, I knew this card was going to come up for you because you are just doing so amazing at lifing, right? Let's find the owl. There's no number, so it's alphabetical. All right, cool. Silent, winged, and wise, all-seeing creature of the night, show me the way, I will follow you in flight. Just so you guys know, this is only flavored nicotine. I'm not smoking anything else. Owls have for thousands of years been part of folklore and have been considered a special or sacred animal. With their huge forward-facing eyes and otherworldly appearance, they have been seen as both wise and as harbingers of the supernatural. There are many hundreds of species of owls, and almost all are nocturnal and carnivorous. Interestingly, they all have specially designed feathers that enable them to fly silently at night, giving them an incredible hunting advantage, sort of like having a stealth mode. Many deities were said to be able to change into owls, and perhaps the most famous was the Greek goddess Athena, who was famous for her strategy and intelligence. To this very day, the capital city of Greece, Athens, has Athena's owl as its symbol. Should the hooting owl come out looking for you this Halloween, it indicates the need for wise counsel or further information before you make a decision. Considered action is warranted. Think before you act emotionally and ensure you think strategically, not impulsively. So, I'm not seeing you acting impulsively, Andrew. But I do feel like in the next couple of weeks, it's important that you don't allow any major decisions you make, really any decisions at all, but like the big ones, to be swayed. Just like with Divine, I do feel someone like whispering in your ear, like planting these little seeds. You are doing really, really well. And I don't feel like you have a need to second guess yourself. Like, sure, we all have problems, but I feel like the issue here is you trusting your own instinct. Divine Empathic, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Andrew, this is trusting your own instinct, going along with what you know to be true. So I tell you guys all the time, I'm like a broken record. Your instinct and your intuition doesn't come out of nowhere. That is your spirit team, your higher self, your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors, all of the spirit that is there watching you and with you on a daily basis. They're trying to guide you in the right direction. That's your instinct and your intuition. So, Andrew, in the next couple of weeks, if you just follow that as you've been, you're going to be just fine. I feel there is like a distraction coming in though. Right? New England, it's happened. I've gotten it happen a couple times. Not by a mod though, just like a random person who like didn't like the way I looked or something. You're welcome, Divine. Get back to your meeting, girl. You got this. I'm so proud of you. Andrew, yeah, there's definitely distraction coming in. Talk about distraction, right? I just feel like keep your focus and remember these words. Like remember WWGD, right? What would Gemma do? Keep that in your mind, because I don't feel like this person is purposefully trying to pull you off track or knock you off course, but they could end up like somehow, what is the word? Influencing a major decision. And that's not going to be good. It's going to give you like 10 steps backwards. What did Netter say? I've been reported before as like my chat was abusive, or like there were a lot of curse words, or I was sexually inappropriate because some of the cards have nudity. People report me for that. And I always like, all I have to do is hit the little button. They have someone review it and I'm fine. But I do lose money, even if it's just a few cents, because while they're reviewing, I'm demonetized. And it takes like 3 days. So trolls know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
Next is Mike J. Mike, are you still here, or are you still gabbing on the phone?
Many have tried. You don't mess with a natural witch. I was reading Wish You Were Here. You just don't do it. I can do like somebody stopped coming in here and doesn't talk to me anymore because I was talking about how I use small spells, like making people lose their keys for a couple hours. And they got like really upset about that. They're like, somebody could be late for work or there's an emergency. I'm like, I don't do it to like nice people. Mike J.
He's here.
I'm going to use the human spirit. Ghost, are you okay?
Yes, I'm much better now.
Sorry, guys. I'm a little distracted tonight, but I feel like I'm always like that. So if you're new here, welcome, and thank you for coming in.
Yes, I apologize for that. I had to get up.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure you're all right.
Yeah, nothing worse than the muscle spasms, than the cramps.
Word.
Brr.
Yes, this is our channel. Each of you are very important to us. We are a family. I know we all look forward to Friday night. Like, this is our place. This is our jam. And I do my best to entertain you guys, but the point of this stream, honestly, is the message. Yeah, if you call, like, Miss Cleo and be angry with you, just ask me. The problem is a lot of people don't like me reading for them because I don't sugarcoat. Like, I'm not going, like, if somebody's going to pass on, I will gently tell, like, I used to not give those messages and then I would feel sick because I didn't. I'm just not going to sugarcoat it for you. But I will give it to you as, here's the thing. When someone reads for you, if all they give you is negative, I would be leery, because when the universe gives you information, they always give you a positive with the negative. They never only tell you the negative. They always tell you the lesson in the negative that you could learn when and or if it happens, possibly how to avoid it. It's never just you're doomed. If somebody is reading that for you, I would be very suspicious of where they're getting their information. So just know that. I used to have people, like when you guys first started coming in a few years ago when I started doing this stream, they'd be like, oh, you're so positive. There's always positive in the message. It's coming from source. True, pure love. By the way, I got my wizard stone, my Merlinite on today. Love this stone. Now, Netter, that's something I would have liked to seen. Mom, good night. I love you. I keep forgetting you're in here. I'll talk to you Sunday, and you can help me out with the edits on my book if you wouldn't mind. All right, Mike J, you pulled Give It a Whirl, card number 27 in the upright. New and improved. Try something new. Who knows? You might like it. Settling into a comfort zone makes your horizon awfully dull and monotonous. Let's try a new hobby, or even just walking down a different street on your way home. Being spontaneous can recharge the soul, give you a newfound passion for something. Think of all the possibilities. Mike, all you have to do is try, because if you don't, you will never know what could have been. You might just be unlocking something you didn't even know you were missing out on. So this is opportunity. This isn't just you going out and walking a different street on the way home. Although the universe is asking you to make teeny tiny changes so that you get used to change, because I guarantee you a month from now, I'll be reading to you about a giant major tower change coming in, like a tower moment. And the tower in tarot is just everything crashing down to rubble and burning basically to the ground so that you can be rebuild it up, new and improved. But this isn't that. This is preparing for that, guaranteed, but that's not here yet. This is telling you, do something fun, act out of character, obviously not in a dangerous or negative way. I feel like you have so much spunk and so much energy, and maybe like surprise your wife with a romantic dinner, or, you know, just do something fun, a staycation, a vacation, a walk through the park. I am seeing romance. So I feel like the universe is kind of being like, dude, don't be stale and don't be stingy with the affection. Also, like when I was coming out of addiction and I had to make these major changes in my life, I didn't have a sponsor. I didn't join any group. I was just here in my house. And I remember, I think I've told you guys this. Instead of like, I usually put on my pants and my socks, I would put my socks in my pants, just to get used to doing things different. Sometimes people take their reading and run because they have a lot to do. We have been here almost 3 hours already. Who's next?
I'm going to put Chris on hold because he stepped out. He might come back, but go ahead and do Latro.
Yeah, Latro, you definitely deserve a reading. And I'm going to use the Black Moon Lilith for you.
Yes, he does. And I can't thank him enough either.
Yeah, I mean, it means so much to me. I'm really bummed I can't go to Para Unity. But again, to do that, I would now need like $1,000. I've tried over 4 months to raise $600. So I can't imagine in the next 2 weeks I'm going to get that. And I'm
okay.
heartbroken.
Chris, I see you. I'll make you after Latro.
So, and another bracelet is hematite, and I think it's, I don't remember what the black one is, but the gray is hematite. I believe the black is jeweled obsidian. Like it's not tumbled. It's done differently, but it is natural. I did have it, you know, I make sure that I get natural gems. The spider is just fake little crystals on it. I hate spiders, but I love spidery stuff. All right, let me get back to this. So Latro, let's do this. Yeah, New England, it's pretty bad. I've been really bummed about it. And again, I don't want to dwell on it or like try to like make anyone feel like I'm being a jerk about it. I just, for like 3 to 4 months, I've been like, guys, please, I got to get to Para Unity, please. I managed to get $100. I needed 6, but now if I get that money, like I can't imagine going to Para Unity because I haven't been able to pay for like water deliveries or like things I need for my home. So if I get that money, I have to put it into my house, and things that I need for me, I pay for apps. I pay for a lot of stuff that like I'm responsible for. And the last 2 months, I have not had nothing. I'm still trying. I'm still trying though. I'm still hoping that I can come up with it. Whoa. All right. I'll hurry up. Jesus. Latro, did you do that on purpose? Latro's like, stop yapping. All right. I'm sorry. Let's do this. All right. I'm going to do it now. So now is Latro. Then we have Jarvis. If anyone else needs a card, so we have Jules and her friend. I don't remember the friend's name. All right. Latro, you got the nodes of the moon, release, clear, and align, card number 32. Prepare yourself. Life changes are coming. When the nodes of the moon card appears, direction and shifts are headed your way. You are releasing limiting habits, old behaviors, and situations that have blocked your progress. Talents, ideas, and new opportunities will soon emerge, creating pleasure in your life. While change can bring discomfort, it's important to surrender. You are moving toward a more fulfilling direction that will light up your soul, connecting you with Source. It's time for you to awaken to the truth of who you are and align with your highest self. The north and south nodes of the moon, also called the lunar nodes, are extremely important points in astrology. The lunar nodes are not planets. They are where the moon crosses paths with the sun's ecliptic. As a result, they are always 180 degrees or opposite from one another. For example, an Aries north node will always have a Libra south node. I have a Cancer south node. I know that. I don't remember what the north is. Whatever the opposite sign of Cancer is. I think Capricorn, maybe. You also can't have transformative solar or lunar eclipses without the north and south nodes of the moon. In Vedic astrology, they are called Rahu, north node, and Ketu, south node, a demon snake in Hindu mythology. The north and south nodes represent our karmic life direction. The south node indicates the talents you've mastered in a past life. So my Cancer in my south node means I've mastered my emotions, which doesn't really sound right because I think I did that when I was like 38 and I'm still a little iffy. The north node is your soul's direction and talents that you must develop in this lifetime. I have it backwards because I remember saying Cancer is emotion and I cannot master my emotions, even though I'm doing actually really well. So my north node must be Cancer. It is where you will feel the most fulfilled. Most of us learn on our south node early in life before we feel the sting of misalignment and our influence to make changes. It's time to release fear. Let go of patterns that are holding you back. Yeah, Latro. I'm sorry. All right, let me do Latro, then I want to get to Lady B. So, Latro, this is you like taking big chances, you know, really stepping outside of your shell, outside of your comfort zone. Now, you may not even be consciously aware that you're going to be doing this. Like, you may not be doing it yet, but definitely in the next 2 weeks, this is a coming energy. I would even say 2 months. It's like, not that you're going to be forced, but I just feel like this energy of, I can do that. I got this, like this really amazing energy of accepting change, even when it's major and confusing. It's like for somehow you've got a handle on it. And this is the universe saying, like, don't look back. Don't second guess yourself. Follow your instinct and intuition, which is obviously something you should always be doing. But in the next 2 weeks to 2 months specifically, I see you just thriving, living your best life, winning. You know, the only thing I can see, like, kind of knocking you off balance is if someone from your past comes in and tries, like, you know, guilting you, or because we all have that one toxic person in our lives, right? That we try to, like, at this age, not handle and deal with. That person could be trying to wiggle back in, but I don't even see you accepting that. You are just doing amazing. This is like the best card of the night so far. Lady Blind Wolf says, you know, considering that long live that he did the other night with all of us, let's face it, the poor man's just drained. If you have time or energy to slip me in at the end, I'd appreciate it. I absolutely will. I don't think I have many more to go. I'll do you before I do my timestamps. And thank you so much for trusting me. That's amazing. Mike J, I wish I could. I want one so bad. Remember, though, I don't have a voice. All right, who's next?
Chris.
Don't worry, guys. When I open my spiritual retreat and y'all come to visit and work for me and all that, we're going to have lots of puppies and animals. I might turn like a part of it into like an animal rescue as well. All right, Jarvis, what are we doing here? We're going to use, okay, deep, dark, and dangerous.
So just so you know, you got him, Jules and Susie, then Lady, and then timestamps.
Then we can play Fortnite.
Maybe.
I should probably eat, though. I haven't eaten in a couple days. All right, Chris Jarvis, what are we doing for my favorite gerbil milker? Okay, the Valkyrie. Lady B, I love long streams. I hope you don't mind if I call you that. It's just easier. But if it's offensive, I won't. I love long streams. You know, I never go less than 2 hours. this is how I think I've gotten to know everyone so well that comes in regularly. Because I don't remember them throughout the week, but when I come back on Friday and I'm in the zone, I'll pull a card and be like, oh yeah, remember last week or like 6 months ago, and it just all comes back to me. And I really feel connected to every single person in here. Even you, the minute you come in and your energy's there and it's just big and bright and beautiful and it matches. That's why when trolls come in, we will immediately know 99% of the time just by them saying hi. They just don't match. They just don't have the energy. All right, let me read this for Chris so we can move through these. I'm sorry for rambling so much, guys. I'm down.
But that's what I was just going to say. Your rambling is why you get to know people more than a lot of other streamers.
I'm down about Paraunity pretty bad, but thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you so much. You help so much, because when I used to have to take the list and do all this, I was manic. And I had like 60, 70 people at that time. What's up, Carl? I had a cat. And the cat was so demonic. My son doesn't even like cats anymore. I ended up with an attack cat. Literally, because even when I gave him away, I gave him to the person that gave him to me. I'll tell this real quick. I'm sorry, guys. And I got him as a kitten, and I put up with it for 9 months. This cat would stalk just to jump through the air and latch on you and draw blood for no reason. The guy who gave him to me was a young kid. He worked at a vet. He specifically focused on cats. I gave him to him. He gave him away to make him be a barn cat, because this cat tore up the other cats in the house, emergency vet visits, tore up the people in the house. The cat would run and jump itself into the window. There was something wrong with it. What he didn't tell me is that when I got it at 3 months old, it had already been returned 3 times. And this thing was attacking, before it attacked my kid, I was done. Anyway, all right, I'm moving on. Sorry. Chris, you have control over yourself only, and you can choose your thoughts and actions. It's never too late to change. You can transform your fears. Be courageous, even though you may be fearful. The battlefield of the ancient Norse was not a pretty place. For Viking warriors upon the battlefield, the incentive to fight bravely until death was what came after. While we often hear the idea of our lives flashing before us at the time of death, what Norse warriors hoped would be there was most likely, and for some hopefully, a beautiful yet terrible Valkyrie. Valkyries took the form of women in battle dress, sometimes winged, often on a mighty horse, eyes flashing and singing songs of blood and glory. The choice of dying for others, of not running away, of protecting a colleague, or of choosing courage, even though they may have been full of fear, is the power the Valkyries rewarded. Their urging to exhibit courage in the way we enact our lives and to release ourselves from the heavy bonds of regret are powerful lessons to learn. So your planned companion, Chris, is Arctic Time. And your crystal companion is Ruby, which is besides the Emerald, my favorite. Netter, yeah, I love these cards. Okay, so Chris, I do feel in the next couple of weeks you're struggling. And again, this is general, we all are, but specifically you are struggling with a choice that I feel you need to make. Lady B, I knew I recognized your name, honey. Welcome back, and I hope you're well. So it's like you see something going on. I don't know if it's with friends, family, complete strangers, neighbors, but you feel like you have this need to get involved. And I do feel it's something serious. I don't feel like it's just like you hear your neighbors arguing. It's like you hear your neighbors in a domestic violence situation. It's something very serious that you're struggling with. Like, do I fit in here? Do I have the right to get involved here? And I know our initial instinct, or I know at least mine, I'll keep it on the eye, is to always mind my own business. My dad taught me, like, every time I would ask a question about, like, people, I lived in Patterson most of my life, so I'd see people fighting in the street, and my dad would be like, is that our business? And I'm like big on like mind your own, particularly when it comes to relationships and people and like families. And my dad always told me, we're Irish. You don't see anyone messing with the Irish because we will just, I can't even say the word, but boom you, right? So nobody gets in their business. And that's what I was taught growing up. But then sometimes I feel an obligation like to jump in and say something if someone's being hurt or harmed. And that is where you're at. I wouldn't say in the next 2 weeks, though. I'm actually seeing further on. So like maybe around like from now until December, like it starts out little by little where you start thinking, that's weird. Maybe I should get involved in that. I don't know what the right thing for you to do here is. And the card isn't really saying. Your team is just like, the fact that you're struggling with it to begin with is kind of the lesson, right? Learning whether or not you're going to do something about it. And I don't even think you are going to act on it. I feel like the struggle is the point. You're finding a way to keep balance, right? Like, when do I get involved? When do I act? And there's also another message here I'm seeing for you where like there's an opportunity coming in, but it's so major and big. Like, you're going to have to be courageous to even think about stepping into it. And what I'm seeing from the universe is you may not take this opportunity right now. It may be too much of a challenge for you for where you're at vibrationally, energetically, but it will come back around. So don't sit around and be like, man, I really blew that. I missed that chance. It's coming back around sometime in December, because I keep seeing December, like they're showing me like December, like real big. December is when you're going to gain the courage to step into something big and something major. For now, though, you can be there for a friend, but I would not recommend like actually getting involved. I feel like I said this earlier too. I feel as though you might feel like you're being like pulled in. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated into someone else's stuff. If someone specifically asks you for help, that's a different story. You have to reassess the situation. And that's how I was raised, but I've always had a struggle because it's like, I don't want to watch. I don't want to see that. But at the end of the day, 99% of the time, I'm just, because I don't like when people do it to me. Hyel, hello. Hyel, I do apologize. I can't pronounce that. We've got a lot of new people tonight. All right. Miss Jules is next, I assume, right? Okay. I've got a deck out for her I've been waiting to use. Miss Julie girl, I'm going to use Goddess Power. Oh my gosh. So guys, I use a little tiny bit of glitter on my eyes, and look, it's all, I don't know if you can't see it, but it's all over my arms. I don't even know how that happened. I used a makeup brush. Carl. So after this, I'm going to read for Susie, Jules's friend, and then I'm going to read for Lady B. If Carl is still here, she can have a reading. The new person that just came in. Oh, I appreciate you. You're so sweet. If you want a reading, let us know. You're going to be my last one of the night. Netter, if you're sure you don't want one, that's cool, but I can fit you in, no problem. I'm so happy to see new names that are like actually supporters. We had 2 trolls tonight, which was kind of cool because we haven't been trolled in a while. The problem is they were saying really disgusting things when my mom was in here and then when my son was in here. Edna, let me tell you, I do refer to you as a pit bull. Like, I just see that energy on you of like, you are the sweetest, kindest, like I will do anything for you, but don't cross me. And you know what? That's the woman I used to be, but in such a negative way. Like, I would hurt you. Now, if you cross me, I just don't deal with you. Like, I'm 41 years old. I don't have time. Mess with my kids, you might see a different side. All right. Yeah. Hi, Lael. Just hang out. I have 3 readings, and then you. So, Jules, you got Athena. Card of knowledge. Goddess in the arena. Guys, please donate to PayPal or Cash App if you can. I do appreciate it. All right. You got her in the reverse, Julie girl. Sometimes logic just isn't enough to determine the truth of your own situation. Right now, things don't add up. They don't make sense. So you might find yourself distrustful. Ingenuity and curiosity are called for as you face the unknown. Do not jump to conclusions. All the information has yet to be revealed, and it won't come by force, nor by overthinking or by overanalyzing. Athena offers you the alignment task of releasing any projected story or expectations and accepting that you don't have all the facts needed to make an informed choice. Ask for clarity, remain open and receptive, then wait for the will of the divine to respond. This is the correct and most beneficial strategy now, and the goddess Athena is ever present to help. Yeah, okay, sorry. So, Jules, this is you being, perfectly understandably, you are distrustful. Hey, what's up, Ron? Steven, that's 3 times. You did it 3 times. Hey, Tim. All right, if Tim wants a reading, we're going to shut it down after him. What's up? Welcome. So, okay, let me focus. Jules, understandably, you are in a place right now where you're not really trusting too many people. You're not open to allowing people in, like your personal space. I feel like this time, though, there is someone that you can trust, but the problem is that person's going to have to prove it. And I don't know how you really say that. Mike J, good night. Love you. Thank you for coming in. The universe is saying, loosen up just a little bit. You don't have to open up completely, drop all your walls and be like, here I am, a complete open book. No, New England, no. Just new people. But you should make room in your head in the next couple of weeks that you may be able to trust again. I feel like there's someone that's either coming in or that recently came into your life that you can trust. Now, this isn't you move this person into your house and give them money. Don't enable anybody. And also, I don't think you should be allowing anyone to live with you. I'm just giving you their message. When I say I'm speaking from spirit, not Gemma, because I don't have an opinion on that. This card is when enough is enough. Just put your foot down. Just make sure that you set clear boundaries and you enforce them. And if you can trust someone and they respect you, they will respect those boundaries and they won't cross them. And that is how you're going to be able to tell. And I feel like in the next couple of weeks, you're going to be able to open up to someone. So whether someone's around or someone's coming in, it's going to be a great process for you of learning the difference between being completely closed off because you can't trust to opening your energy and learning in that way, energetically and spiritually, who you can trust and who you can't. The main thing here is to enforce your boundaries. See who stays, see who scatters. Girl bye, boy bye, bye bye, they bye. Tim, it's good to see you. I recognize your name. So Ron, that's the thing. It's don't forget, but people say that a lot of the time. And I feel like that phrase gets a negative rap. Forgive, but don't forget. It's not a negative thing. It's just obvious, right? Oh, Jesus, Gemma, if somebody hurts you, you're not going to, just as a human being, as a spiritual being, your energy is not going to connect with them again until that's fixed. And even then, she said, dead balls accurate, baby. Bye, bye, bye. Okay, let me stop. All right, Miss Susie, let me get a handle on my decks here. What are we doing? All right, I know what we're doing. We're going to read Wild Woman. Yeah, Tim, good to see you. I knew I recognized your name as well. That's 2 people that came back. Tim, my question tonight, this is Aunt Anna. Do you have the mark of the M on your palm? Look at my big X. See it? Right here. This is the one line, and then the other one crosses this way. You do. I don't have it. Perfect deck card. Yeah, I'm always careful with this deck because they do sometimes put political opinions in here. Any political opinions or personal opinions put in the deck are not mine, but they come out sometimes. And sometimes people do get triggered or offended by an oracle card. So, you know. 28, a moonlit dance, feminine energy. Miss Susie, what activities personally make you feel most connected to your own feminine energy? This is a sign that you need to connect with your divine feminine energy, whether it be dancing, listening to music, walking barefoot on Mother Earth, reading a good book, working creatively with your hands, or bonding and laughing with your girlfriends in sacred sisterhood. Dedicate some time to connect with your own feminine energy in the way you feel most called. Oh, as women, existing in our feminine energy in the modern world can sometimes be difficult. Whether we're consciously aware of it or not, many of us operate in a very masculine way in our everyday lives. We are immensely busy, adhering to strict schedules and deadlines, striving to accomplish long-term entrepreneurial goals, and completing day-to-day responsibilities such as cleaning, caring for children or loved ones, and paying bills. As modern women, we are blessed to have the independence and opportunities that our ancestors, even our grandmothers, sometimes could only dream of. But with every great stride in progress, valuable elements may be lost. In this case, the vital qualities of the feminine. Symbolism. Upon feeling a powerful surge of feminine energy, Susie rushed through her body. I used your name in the wrong spot. Susie, upon feeling a powerful surge of feminine energy rushed through her body, this spirited woman and her playful fox companion danced joyfully in an enchanted forest under a bewitchingly radiant full moon. Feeling the earth beneath her feet, she connects with its sacred feminine energy and, although perhaps for only a few fleeting moments, becomes extremely present and enraptured in the mysterious, untamable essence of the divine feminine, the exact food her soul needs. So here's the thing, Susie, there's nothing bad in this reading. If you for lack of a better term, it's just that you're too focused on, there's like something in your life that you're very, very focused on, and it's okay to be focused on that, but you're getting like in the next couple of weeks, or if you already are now, like to an obsession where like you're not really paying attention to anything else. And we have to pay attention to our spiritual health, right? It's good to have goals. It's good to want to break through the glass ceiling, or even like very small goals, like you want to paint and sell the paintings or whatever it rings true to you. I feel like in the next 2 weeks, though, the universe wants you to relax, take a break, and really think through what it is you want to do, what it is you have to do, and the things you can take off your plate so that you can have more you time. You're disconnecting from a very important part of yourself. And I don't know if it's the divine feminine, but I do see you just a little bit separated. Like you are so focused, laser focused. And the universe wants you to sit back and find the reason you're so focused on whatever this is. Now, the other side of this, and sometimes this happens, and I do apologize, this could be someone very, very, very obsessively focused on you. Whether this is because they expect you to enable them, whether it's because they want to with you, maybe date you. Definitely creep energy. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the next couple of weeks, be careful of any, and I will say men specifically, no offense to the men in here. I'm not saying men are creeps. I'm just saying a male creep is looking at Susie. It's okay to be strong, but it's also okay when you're in the company of people that you trust, particularly female friends, to vent and to be open and honest about your experiences, right? So to go to a friend that you can trust and say, I think my boyfriend's cheating, and like let out a good cry, or like whatever it is, just be the things we can't be publicly, right? If a woman cries publicly, a lot of the time she's dramatic, she's a princess, she's a diva, she's a crybaby. But when you're with people you can trust, and I particularly see at least one female that you're connected to, and you can vent to them and you can reciprocate that energy back and forth, where you're not just there, you're not just sucking them dry. It's a reciprocating energy. Like I said to Jules, it's okay to trust as long as you set and enforce boundaries. I know that was a lot of different things, but I just channeled it through. So I hope it makes sense. Please be careful like giving out your phone number, bringing people to your home. And Jules, that energy is always around you. I just feel like you attract strays, and I do too. A lot of the time, your heart's so big that it blocks the red flags. So that's for Jules. Just watch, please. Set and enforce the boundaries and see who stays. Both of you. Who's next? Lady B. Lady B, I'm going to use energy and spirit. Thoughts, vibrations, card number 23, my favorite number. Resonant choices, signature signals, card number 23. Upright. Lady B, like a satellite in space, your mind is sending and receiving signals in every direction. The vibrations of your thoughts and beliefs never cease projecting and receiving. This is a very real energetic influence on what you attract and manifest, a powerful force in your present and future happiness. It's easy to say that your cognitive patterns create your reality, but how much do you really think about your ongoing thought process? This card is telling you that you now have the power to bring much more positivity and self-love into your thinking. In fact, your mental power is growing more than ever. Consciously send out clear and attractive signature signals, and the world will return your loving messages to you. Affirmation: I always have power over my thoughts. I release negative thinking and choose to trust in my resourcefulness and to have faith in my soul. Lady B, this is you basically. Give me 1 sec. I want to respond to Jules. Perfect card. We had just talked about dancing. I've got my bee barn set up almost with the dance floor. Oh my God, I love it. Good. Yeah. Be very, very careful, because I did see that. You know what they were showing me? The creepy guy from the diner I was talking about earlier that tried to run me over. He turned his lights off. Luckily, I saw him at the last minute and moved, and he hit a wall. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. Jules, the thing for you, though, is don't get obsessively involved in that, because that's a lesson Susie has to learn and make her own way in. Of course, you want to help her. That's fine. But make sure that she does most of the energy exchange, the thinking, and the acting on that. You can give advice, help where and when you can, but don't become too involved, even though obviously you want to, because otherwise it's just going to keep happening for her, because there's a lesson she needs to learn with this weirdo situation. I don't know what it is. I know that's a weird message, but it is what it is. Lady B, I hope you're still here. Yeah, this is you opening up to the idea that things can be okay again. I feel like so many of us, you've had like one after another, tragedy, misfortune, bad things falling down, tower moments, and you kind of withdrew. Maybe not from everyone, but at least energetically, withdrawing your energy from people, because just like I was talking about with Jules, like you can't trust anymore. And I also feel like your faith, like in the universe, has really dampened with everything you've been through. It's kind of a why me thing, but it's not like a whiny, like it's understandable why you would be worried about this. This is the universe telling you that in the next couple of weeks, feel safe in opening yourself up to what the universe has to offer again, and putting your energy out there and see what it attracts. If you're trying to attract love or money or whatever the case may be, raise your vibration by being more positive. So if you're only looking at the negative things, we only see the negative. So if you can find these little blessings and state them out loud to show the universe that you understand the blessings you have, even though you have these things that are lacking, the universe will vibrate better things to you. But if you keep yourself and your energy shut down, Lady B, and you keep yourself withdrawn completely, the universe can't move for you, because you're not. It's like someone trying to grab your hand when you're when you're drowning, and you go like this. When really you could just go like that and they can pull you out. you're not extending your hand to the universe. And this is the universe asking you to do that. And by extending your hand, I mean opening yourself up, opening your energy up. And Edna said, to be fair, we all attract these types of people and yet can always see the good in them. We try to draw the goodness out and help it grow, but we can't fight other people's battles. Is there a lesson to learn? So with this one particular guy, and I've had to get many restraining orders, he used to come into the diner. I worked 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. It was in Bloomfield, New Jersey, called the Nevada Diner for some reason. And I was the head waitress there. I had the manager key. I worked there for a long time and I lived a block away. So anytime they needed me, I'd come. I made tons of money. It was an amazing job. I got involved with the manager, which was why I don't work there anymore. This guy came in. He was this lonely, elderly guy. And I could see that there was something not quite right with him. He lived with his mom. He was in like his late 60s. I was in my mid 20s at the time. My God, it seems like it was only yesterday. Wow. So I was like, oh, do you have Facebook? I knew he liked me, but I thought it was more of like this lonely guy. He comes in for coffee and pie. He wants someone to talk to. So I asked him if he had Facebook. He said, yes, he'd friend request me. His Facebook was a Facebook he made just to friend request me. Thought that was a little weird. So it started just getting weird, like asking for my phone number. Then I noticed like a car that I thought was following me. It did end up being his car. He was trying to run me over because he was angry that he was sending me Facebook messages that I wasn't seeing because I never use Facebook Messenger. But he was asking me out and like I didn't see any of it until afterwards. And I was ignoring him. He said I had like led him on. I never hung out with him outside of work. I didn't talk to him on Facebook once I realized it was a new, you can't control how people are. And but it did teach me a lesson in how much of myself am I willing to give a complete stranger. Oh my God, Ghost, I know. I just saw a private chat. All right, who is next?
Hey, you're hello, if that's how you say it.
Lady Blind Wolf, I don't know what stopped you from doing that, but maybe you can find like a different form of helping people with that. I'm trying so bad to get my 1,000 followers on TikTok. I can't keep working and making no money, I think TikTok's the answer to that too. Giving the people the benefit of the doubt and not seeing red flags soon enough. You know what, Lady Blind Wolf? I would ask you this, because I used to say that too until my main guide asked me, Aaron, he asked me a question. Are you not seeing the red flags or are you ignoring them because you don't how do you do that? You see someone's energy is wrong. You literally see it, you feel it, but at the same time, they haven't actually done anything wrong. So how do you tell them you don't want them around you? How do you tell them you don't want to help them? You don't want to be friends with them. You want them to leave you alone because I see a red flag in your energy. We don't want to have people look at us like that. It's a big stigma when really we should all be able to follow our instinct and say, I'm sorry, but, we're not meant to be friends, or you have red flags written all over you. And that should be perfectly normal. But I think we ignore it because, again, what can we say? I spiritually, telepathically, with my mind's eye, see red flags on your energy. Come on. We don't want to say that. We should because it's true, but we don't. So we end up not saying anything for fear of being ridiculed, bullied, shunned. I don't blame you one bit, but the universe is telling you it's all right to open up a little bit. All right, hello. Cool is a great word. I don't mind it. I used Magic of You Oracle. You got card number 14, Lavaria, Let Love Grow. Good. Lady Blind Wolf, good. Little bit at a time. Just do what you're comfortable with. I made the mistake of giving everybody all access. So everybody started looking at me immediately as their friend and not as a professional who's working. Like in this chat, I've made so many friends, but outside of here, it was just like being nice to people in the comments because they were commenting on my video. And then suddenly it's like, oh, can you work for free? And it's because I gave too much of myself right away and I didn't keep that boundary there. People I didn't even know. All right, hello. Let's see what you got here. Lovaria appears when a healthy expression of love has turned into obsession with love, or more specifically, an idea that is not love. The skeletons of your expectations are limiting your experience of love. Release your attachment to what was and let a new concept of love evolve in your heart and mind. The embrace appears tender between the lovers, but they are bound by vines that trap each other into a fixed expression that cannot grow. Now is the time to remember your lover is only human, as evidenced by the skull, which is human. Your lover is not a god or a goddess, and so do not worship them. Enjoy them. Love is beautiful in all of its expressions, but the extremes of passion and infatuation are not sustainable. It's time to find a balance in love. Lovaria is the soulmate card when drawn with the witch card, which you did not. If you're wondering if the object of your desire is the best reflection of you, the witch says it is. I don't know why it's talking about the witch card. So this can be anything you desire to experience love with. It could be a lover, a job, a home, a holiday, an animal companion. This is whatever you're searching for in your heart, okay? You're very welcome. Thank you. But listen, here's the rest of your reading. Whatever you're searching for, put yourself out there for it. But just like Lady B and I were just talking about, don't give all of yourself and be an immediate, natural, open book, even if naturally you are. You have to protect yourself. There's bad people out there, for lack of a better word. And there are people that are going to come around you, be drawn to your light. And then once their demons see your bright light, it's going to scare them and they're going to act out towards you. This is how we end up in narcissistic relationships. They're attracted to us. They love our light. We're everything to them. They love it. And then once we start recognizing their demons, the demons are terrified that the light's going to touch them and they attack.
Are you ready, Tim? Froze there for a second.
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm sorry. So, Haleo, I would just say, honestly, be careful what you wish for in the next couple of weeks. You know, keep a close eye on the people around you and only give your energy and yourself to the people who you feel deserve it. You know, I use this example and then I'll go to the next card. But if you're trying to get into like a nightclub and it's $10 to enter, you either pay the $10 for access or you don't and you go do something else. People need to prove themselves before they have access. They need to pay, not financially, but with energetic reciprocation for access to you. You deserve for people to put effort. And you do not have to settle for breadcrumbing. So Lady B, I don't know what you were saying. I am a Christian, but that's not something I talk about on this channel. I don't think it fits with Oracle. Being a Christian witch, I don't fit many places, right? But I can't help that I can communicate with the dead. I can't help any of that. And I tried to block it out for years and ended up an 86-pound homeless heroin addict. So what do I do? But there's radicals everywhere. And I'm sorry that something like that happened to you because I feel you have very powerful energy. And I feel like you could be a lot of help to a lot of people. Keep the faith. If you're out there putting yourself out there helping people, you're doing the right thing. The enemy is always going to attack, particularly when you're on top. And if they can't confuse you, it's going to tire you out. Don't let it get to you. Find something that makes you build your energy back up, lady. You got this. You got this. You are a good soul, a good person. You deserve, just like I said to Hello, to live your life the way you want to live it and live your dream and help others who may want to be inspired by you. I love inspiring people. I love helping. It's what I literally have dedicated my life and career to, and I want to do it for the rest of my life. I want to help people come to their spiritual place of happiness and peace and self-love. And I will do it for the rest of my life. You've got it in you. And I know you're not a Christian and you may not like a lot of Christians, but I will pray for you. All right. Who's next?
Tim McKee, then timestamps.
All right. Tim, I'm actually going to use human spirits. So listen, everybody in here who's new, I just want to say I appreciate you guys. We're here every Friday. What happened? Tim, what happened with you? Are you in the hurricane area? I'm so sorry. Ron, welcome, by the way. It's so good to see you. I know I said hi already, but thank you for coming in. All right, Tim, let's do this. I'm getting tired. We've been here for 3 hours and 29 minutes. So you got broken open, card number 12, in the upright. You must have some cracks to let the light shine through. Have you been through something that tore you into pieces, that broke you down to nothing? When we break, it makes space for growth. Like a dense forest, there can be no sun for new growth. But when one tree falls or breaks, it allows the warming sun to penetrate the canopy that feeds the roots. You've been through enough, Tim. It's time to feed your roots and step into the sun. Remember that sometimes you must tear something down to rebuild a better quote-unquote home. The same is true for us. If we have been through life-shattering events, don't get stuck in the ruins of what was. Instead, build a fabulous new dwelling. Never underestimate the curb, K-E-R-B, appeal of a renovated home. This is you. Oh, God, this is like, again, this happens at the end, but this is you picking up the pieces, but choosing which pieces to pick up. So anything that fell away recently, it's like you're either ready, or in the next couple of weeks, you're going to understand like it's time to let go. Because, okay, I liken it to this, and I use stupid examples, but I think it gets through to people, right? It's easy. Think of a chessboard, and every single space on the board has a piece on it. Everyone. So you can't move any of the pieces. It's just everybody's stuck. How could you play? So if you take a piece, if something falls away, you take a couple pieces or even one piece, move slowly. Then you can move around. You have room to breathe. You have room to move. You have room to live and grow and thrive and strive. And that is when the universe will step in and start placing people, places, things, opportunities, things like that where they need to be. Believe in yourself and believe that everything happens for a reason. The universe is always working for you, doing things for you, not to you. And I'm sorry for anything, because I see a tragedy. I see something very tragic, or at least like very life-changing. And this is you moving on from it fairly quickly, considering how devastating whatever it was. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, prepare for landing, because something's coming in. No, Jared, it's my best friend who's like my sister. It's people who most of them have like medical issues where like they can't come in and chat, but they listen and they donate. So I got them. All right, let's do Deadbolt. Jules, I just love you. One day I'm going to be able to give so many of you a real hug, and just, I do. I care for you guys very much. That's why I'm here every week. I was sick today. I was not feeling well. Thank you, Miss Julie girl. So I'm going to use the Vampire Oracle for Lotus. Does it resonate? Okay, so Tim, yeah, take it to heart, okay? I know it's devastating. You don't have to leave it all behind, but I think most of it needs to go, because the universe needs room to work. No, I know. I did feel like I should explain that, though, because people do get upset and people do ask. That's why I was like, oh, okay. You gave me my intro to why I do timestamps every week for the same people. Miss Girl, Miss Lotus, you got Immortal, The Consuming Family, The Pressure of Peers, card number 6. For many humans, we have noticed that their blood and adopted friendship families can exert a draining and consuming influence on them. Whether it's that their affections are so strongly bound up within their families that there's no affection to give elsewhere or to others, or whether the family circle has closed so tight as to strangle a member, we know this thing we once had, and which many of you have, family, can from time to time strangle the development of the soul and the being. If this card has come to you, Tennille, we wish to show you a young vampiric maiden, one of our own, Lucrezia Borgia, whose famous family fed upon her youth and beauty to further their political ambitions. Her closeness with her brother Cesare Borgia in every way compromised the development of loyal affections elsewhere. The family of origin can be like this for many humans. They can demand such great loyalty that you become entrenched in the family network, never moving beyond the ties of blood. This can be a diminishment. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you. Of your potential, and we wish for you to consider that some of your beliefs have not been formed through your own independent experience. Your own expression of self has never been a priority, and for you to find your own way will mean a struggle through the darkness and guilt of fear and punishment. But the tribe you were born into now wants more than it gives, and it's time for you to find aspects of who you could be if dreams were given space to grow within you. It's time to move beyond their demands and needs, even if it's for a short time, and refresh the freedom you have as one human rather than as a cluster of close-knit and similarly woven humans who share a surname or an interest. You are more than your family. Your family is not all. The group mind is a powerful thing, but for now you must reassert your own individuality in healthy ways. Blessing, the love and closeness of this group has given you a great sense of who you are and what you are on earth to do. But we ask you now to shake up the situation, as it is now leading to a shadow of your soul development and a stunting of your human growth. You are beyond the definitions of family or the peers of an adopted family. You are more than they say you are. Curse, if you do not undertake a voyage of discovery into your own self, you will become enmeshed in the webs of the family life and a limited definition of self. And recall, too. This can apply to friends who have strong beliefs about who you are, who you ought to be, and how you must do things. If you wish to be yourself rather than simply a member of a group with a leader who's not you, it's time to explore alternatives. Anna, thank you again. Jules, everybody, thank you. Remember, you are your own person and you can create your own life. You're free, and obligations can now fall away. So, Tennille, I know that obligations cannot now fall away, and I know you are very loyal and dedicated to your family, and you have so much going on that you cannot step away, because I've already tried talking to you about this. I don't think this is a couple of weeks reading. I feel like this is the universe giving you positivity, strength to keep going forward. But as you move forward, Tennille, I want you to see more than just what's going on now on the horizon. I tell you all the time, your mission is to start some sort of business on your own. Not right now, obviously, but that is the ultimate goal for you. And you have a vision in your head. I want you to hold that vision while you go through everything you're going through now with Hillbilly. Don't let go of that, because the more you think about it, the more you're going to be manifesting that it's going to come in. Okay. And that's a big deal, because when you stop thinking about it and you start thinking that it's impossible, that's when the universe stops working toward it for you. Okay. That's when the universe is like, oh, okay, I guess she hasn't learned everything. She's not ready to put the pieces together. Bye-bye. And then you're going to have to start from scratch. Just start weaving your own personal wants, needs, hopes, dreams into your everyday, even if you're just writing about it. And I know that doesn't make much sense right now, but I feel like as we go forward in the next couple of months with your private personals, with these readings, it's going to make a lot of sense. Something big is coming for you, but it is coming specifically for you. And then you're going to have to make that choice. Are you going to continue to allow the people around you to, not on purpose, but they are feeding? And that's one of the main reasons you're so sick all the time. Let's do Nut Slap next, NKC, and that's it, right? Nut Slap, I'm going to use Halloween. I'm going to text him. I wonder where he went. I hope he's okay. Okay. What card do you guys think it is? All right, I'll tell you. Ghost, do you have any ideas?
What deck did you pick?
Halloween. It comes out every time.
Oh, it's one with a little witch on it, right?
Not that one. Barnbrock, the bread.
Okay.
Nut slap, a pea, a cloth, a coin, a ring, and a stick, within a loaf of speckled sweetness. Slice it and eat it, a glimpse of my faith's completeness. Not quite a cake and not quite a bread. Barnbrock is a sweet loaf, larger than a typical loaf of bread, baked with flour, sugar, salt, and dried fruits such as raisins. The making of barnbrock is an Irish tradition that still stands around Samhain, Halloween. The person baking the loaf would be sure to set the intention for love, truth, and synergy whilst preparing. Inside the dough, a number of special objects are hidden and baked into the loaf. The objects are used as a kind of random oracle. Each one has a particular meaning, which represents the fate of the person who found it in their slice. The traditional objects include a coin, a pea, a stick, a ring, and a small piece of cloth like muslin. Some other additions made in more modern times were religious medals. Should your slice of the brock contain a coin, this would indicate prosperity and good luck. The pea unfortunately meant that no marriage would occur for you that year, yet finding the ring meant marriage was certain. The stick, to be avoided at all costs, indicates disputes and unhappiness, and finding the cloth meant bad luck and little money ahead. When you pull the barnbrock card, it indicates a curiosity to know what is ahead, but it's important to balance that with the now. After all, we have the tools to change our future should we choose. The sweet synergy of barnbrock, all the ingredients, including the objects, are more complete and powerful together than they are individually. Should encourage you to seek your own sweet spot. Yeah, so nut slap, what this card is saying is like, you never know what's going to happen, because even like with Oracle, like if I message you and I'm like, dude, like you and I are pretty close. Like we talk a lot. We used to years ago talk every night. We talk a lot. And I do the same thing with Netter. Like I have my buddies, and I definitely consider you a brother. This card is like, no matter, like if I call you up and I'm like, dude, like I just got a vision and this is going to happen, there's still a chance. Even if there's 2 minutes in between for you to do something to change what I just called you about, right? That's what this card is saying. Don't get down on an idea of like, this is never going to change or this is going to always be how it is, because I feel like you are feeling that in the next couple of weeks. And I can't tell you when change is going to come, but I can tell you the more you focus on change not coming, the more it's not going to come. You have to be more positive. And this is not Gemma saying this because I hate when people tell me like, just be positive, we can hope. Like, no, we have to expect the best and focus on the good things we do have. Look at everything going on with the people stuck in the hurricane. The other day, I was so frustrated, like with mom duties, right? Which all moms get. I don't get ashamed of that anymore because I'm an amazing mother and I would do anything for my kids. RJ specifically gets everything he wants. And I love him. But I was frustrated. Like, I was tired and I had worked all day and he's not a very independent kid. Like mom needs to be with him pretty much whatever he's doing. He wants me there. I love it. Sometimes it gets frustrating. And then I turned on my computer to look something up and saw that mothers were having to write down their kids' name and birth dates for tags on their bodies because of the hurricane. And I don't mean to get so deep, but like nut slap, I feel like if you looked around, you can find the positive even in the negative. And understand that, look where you were 5 years ago. Are you better off? If the answer is no, you've got some major changes to make. The answer should always be yes. You're always progressing, even if where you progress to isn't ideally where you want to be. I don't know how you do that. Like I have to like go out of my way to change that thing. Okay, let's do Miss Casey. It's not a big deal, Ghost. I'm only messing with you. Casey, I'm going to use Wild Woman. South Carolina. So Tim, the thing with me is if I watch the news and there happens to be like they're talking about a deceased person, I oftentimes will get a visit, and I don't like that. It's freaky. So I really don't watch television or the news. I stream a couple shows here and there, but sometimes it just pops up and I immediately hugged my son and like went and played with him because that's what he was bugging me about. We can always, I remember, I'll tell you a really quick funny story before we end. About 10 years ago when I first met my husband, he would always stop by and make sure I had money and food. And then he would leave. And I remember I would sit on the porch and he would get into his truck and he would drive off and I would cry. And my dad would be like, dude, like, because I wasn't at the time a crier. And I'm like, I wonder what it would be like to be married to someone like him and to have him come home to me every night and to love me the way he loves me now. Because I felt just kind of like I was his girlfriend, like, kind of, right? It was very, very new. So I think about that, and I got everything I wished for. Even if it isn't ideally exactly what I wished for, I manifested marrying this man, living in our dream home, and having a child. There are a lot of issues, but I manifested it. I've got to live with it. And I am way better off than when I was 86 pounds, addicted and homeless and eating out of trash cans. I know, yeah, and I'm an old ball bag now. Speaking of teasing the elderly, I used to mess with my grandma. My mom would get so mad. So we'd be out to eat. She didn't have like actual dementia or anything, but she was just getting old and we'd mess with her. So don't take me as a bad person. But we would go out to eat. It would be me, my mom, my son Damien, my stepdad, and my granny. And we'd be sitting there for like 5 minutes and I'd get up to go outside and smoke a cigarette. And my granny would be like, where are you going? And I'd be like, I'm leaving. Like, wasn't it what you didn't like your food? And she'd be like, the waitress didn't even come over yet. I'm like, Granny, I'm like, we literally just ate. And everyone else would just sit and like go along with it, but my mom wouldn't. She would get really mad. One time I told my grandma that, because we were on the beach and the seagulls, like she hated the seagulls. I told her to go up to the umbrella guy and that he had zap sticks for the seagulls and that she can get one. I gave her $5. I said, give him this. He'll give you a zap stick and you zap the seagulls and they fall and they run away. She goes up and asks the guy. So I went and put my arm around her and I'm like, come on, it's time to get back to the padded room. All right, Miss Casey, and then I'm donezo. I think I'm going to do some yoga, actually. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me vent. All right. Miss Casey, you got Yemaya, Mother of All, Divine Care. Beautiful card. Card number 4. What is one trace of evidence of divine care or providence in your life at this time? In times of suffering, it can be difficult to believe and feel that we are loved, Casey, protected and supported by the divine, especially when there's little or no evidence of it manifested in our physical surroundings. Yemaya reminds you that you are her beloved child and you are always held in her sacred womb. Know that divine care and protection or providence is always available to you, and you're never truly alone. Yemaya, a powerful Orisha or deity originating in the West African Yoruba culture, is the mother goddess of all bodies of water and associated with creation, fertility, and providence. Casey, you're a Pisces sun. Emotions, bodies of water. Her name derives from the Yoruba words Aya, mother, and Amo, child, children, and Eya, fish, and translates to mother whose children are the fish. She became prominent between the 16th and 19th centuries when 10 to 12 million African slaves were transported from West Africa to the Americas. I'm not going to talk about this on my channel. As a nurturing, loving, yet fierce matriarchal figure, Yemaya is like the amniotic fluid of the womb that protects and nourishes an unborn baby. Like modern science, many ancient cultures believe that life first began in the ocean. Thus, the queen of the ocean is truly the seed and the beginning of all life on earth. Yemaya is not only of the oceans, she is the ocean, and so her name reflects its beauty, fertility, profundity, and majesty, as well as its raw power. Casey, you are going through the most tragic thing I have like literally ever dealt with. One of the most tragic things in losing your husband of 45 years. And I don't mean to keep saying that publicly. I just want people who are here who may not know to know what I'm talking about when I read for you. If you'd like me to stop saying it, I definitely will. This is the universe reminding you that you're loved and you will find a way. You have to find a new way of living right now. And you said that to me. But I think it's funny we draw this card and what do I always tell you? You tell me I'm like another daughter. And I tell you, you're like another mom. You've been with me from the very beginning. I would do anything humanly possible to make you happy or see you smile. I hate that you live on the other side of the country. This is the universe telling you, Casey, that even though it's hard to accept and unimaginable at points, there is another way, and you and your husband and your family chose for this to happen at this time for a reason. And I know you know that deep down inside, and I know it doesn't make the grief any less. But this is, I know you believe in God, and anyone triggered by religion, I'm sorry, but I'm speaking to Casey right now. You're loved, you're protected, you're understood. Be around people or a person you don't have to be the rock for. Let it out. And I told you I'm here. Be around, you know, in certain areas of your life, you do have to be the strong one. You have to be the rock. You have to keep it together. But you don't have to be that with everyone. Surely there's someone that you don't have to be strong for. And if you have nobody that you can think of, I'm a call away. I like to text, but if you were in crisis, you can call me. You will get through this. And when the time is right, we'll reach out. We'll reach out and grab him. I love you. Oh, thank you so much, Tim. Well, you're very welcome to be a part of it. We're here every Friday night. In I think 3.5 years, I've only missed like 4 streams. So Long Island Bigfoot, hey. All right, guys, I'm sorry. It's 11 o'clock. I can't do anymore. I'm so tired. Long Island Bigfoot, if you want a reading for me, shoot me a text sometime and I'll definitely send you one. I just can't. Like, I'm so tired. Guys, please don't forget to donate. I love you all. I love what I do for a living, but I am working. So when I get off stream and I've made no money, it's painful, especially when like I can't pay bills and I'm working 50-hour work week. So, all right, I'm not going to dwell. I love you guys tremendously. I will see you on Tuesday for afternoon talk. But listen, Monday, we're going to be talking about encounters with insectoid humanoids. And one of the encounters I did talk about last Tuesday and the live stream, it was cray cray. Miss Lara, if she's feeling okay, will be here next Thursday. Of course, you have Ghostdragonzw on Wednesday and Saturday as well. Okay, so there's something going on basically every day of the week except Sunday and every other Thursday. We try to like keep you guys, and I'm going to be doing more live streams actually, because the pre-recordeds are not. I'm making 65 cents off of them every month. So there's more. Oh, I'm working on Gone 4. Guys, don't forget, if you want autographed copies of my books, if you have your own encounter stories, any questions about purchasing the Halloween helper boxes, email me, GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. If you have my phone number, just text me. Long Island Bigfoot, it's so good to see you, by the way. Jared. I miss you in here and I miss talking to you, but I know you're out on your adventures and I've been keeping an eye on you. Miss you and I'm glad you came in. Thank you for stopping by. Guys, I'm working on Gone 4, but I have Missing the Fae Theory, Encounters with Evil, 101 Terrifying Tales, True and Terrifying Tales. I have Shadow Entities, Sleep Paralysis and Beyond, Danger at Your Door, Encounters with the Black-Eyed Kids, Midnight Visitors, More Encounters with Black-Eyed Kids, Campfire Stories Volumes 1, 2, and 3, which is your guys' encounters in the woods. And then I have Gone 1, 2, and 3, and I'm working on 4. A lot of those are bestsellers, with the absolute bestseller being Danger at Your Door, Encounters with Black-Eyed Kids. If you can't find the links in the description box, they won't be in this one, but in all the other videos that I do, go to Amazon and type in Gemma Jade Books. That's all you have to do. Kindle, paperback, Audible. All right, I got to promote myself a little bit here. If you've already gotten any of my books, if you can go to Amazon and give the book a 5-star review, and even if you write great book, 2 words, 1 word, awesome, it helps push my books out, and then I make more money, because right now I'm making less than $100 a month off books, and I get paid every 6 months. So I'm really, when I get paid again in February, if it keeps going how it is, I might get like $80. So if I went to Power Unity, I could make a couple thousand vending. But, you know, so please support me in any way that you can. I feel like I'm begging and I don't want to do that. So I'm really not going to talk about it much more. I am making changes to the channel. Do not forget to check out the shorts. I embarrass myself for you guys, but I have so much fun in the shorts, and they bring in 40, 50, 60,000 views on some of them. Even 1,000 views is cool, because I don't get that. So I love you guys. Thank you for being you. And Ron, you're the best. You are all the best. I love you all so much. I'm going to go do yoga and eat. Ghost just disappeared on me. But all right. Love you guys. Bye. Jared, I don't have that many. It's a lonely life.